What's up, guys? Welcome to SpawnCast episode 36, as Evan just reminded me before we went live here. As always, Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. You guys know that by now. Joined here by 3 other people tonight. It's a smaller crew than usual. Sometimes we'll get up to 6 or 7 people in here, but got 4 of us here tonight. We're going to start over here next to my little square. Sean, RGT85, is with us tonight. How are you doing, Sean?
Good, man. Good.
Good to hear. Good to hear. And let me jump over. Evan, how are things going over there?
Perfectly fine. Finishing up some work, catching, I guess, in mute mode the rest of Capcom Cups.
What's being played at Capcom Cup? I don't know what's going on
at
there.
This point.
Street Fighter 5. Okay.
They're going to their final brackets for tomorrow.
Oh, okay. That's esports stuff, right?
Yep.
Very nice. Very nice. Not going to work it into one of the esports waves at some point?
Maybe. Might make it into the next one. Not this one. Cool. This one's already recorded.
That one is already done. It's up and it's live at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, right?
Yep.
Tomorrow. That'll be good. And then we, of course, have Max. We missed you last week, but good to have you back this week. How are things going?
I'm extremely hyped to dig into all this news. It has been a crazy good week.
Yeah, a lot of stuff's happened this week. I'm actually shocked at how much stuff has happened. Like, I was looking over it. I was like, we're gonna have to fit all of this into SpawnCast. It's not going to be easy to do. Now we're going to try something a little different for tomorrow as well. I'm going to take one topic we'll talk about today, and it'll be posted up on the channel for you guys to just watch. It's like probably a 8 to 10 minute clip, but just in case people miss it and stuff, that'll show up on the channel at some point tomorrow. So look out for that. But otherwise, I guess, what have you guys been playing this week? What have you been doing?
Oh gosh, what have I? Monster Hunter World,
lot, right?
I've been playing Monster Hunter World all day today. I've been playing Fortnite, Worms, a little bit of everything.
Did you finish up Xenoblade?
Yes. No. Well, no. I'm near the end. I've had to put it down as of this second right now. I'm really far into it though. I'm definitely running into I'm in the final zones where you have level 60 stuff and then random level 80 dudes running around that are one-shotting people. So
I've always hated that Xenoblade, man. Xenoblade X had that a lot.
I like that though. I don't know, something about that, as dumb as it is, it feels like a video game facsimile of real life, of if you're walking through the jungle, there's a lot of monkeys, but there's a couple lions,
Yeah, I'm liking the game a lot. I don't know, Sean, did you end up getting Xenoblade? I remember you were talking about you had a gift card and you were thinking about it.
Actually, one of my Patreons, Amazon screwed up his order and he got 2 for the price of 1, so he's sending me it this week.
Nice. Oh wow, nice, dude!
So,
you can't beat that.
Yeah, I actually got Daisegia. I never know how to say it. Disgaea 5 and Dragon Ball Z from viewers of the show that just came to the PO box today. So I'm excited to check those out. I'm currently downloading the cancer that is known as WWE.
No, you're not downloading WWE, are you?
I am. I need to do this review, and it's going to be such a good review. Yeah. But it's I already know the game sucks, so I don't really care. Maybe they'll patch it eventually. I've actually been playing Poi, which is a charming 3D platformer on the Switch that is actually fun. I'm enjoying it a lot. It's a lot kind of like a Super Mario 64 Lite, Spyro Collectathon sort of style game. But I mean, it was only $30 physical, and it's a very good middleware game. It's not a great game. If I had to score it, I'd say probably 6 to 7 range. But it's fun. It's got decent mechanics, and I've been enjoying it. What else have I been playing? Batman the Telltale series on the Switch, because that finally came in.
That's a good game to have portably. I will say that. That's one where you can kind of watch it. Maybe you're playing in bed, because there's not a lot of as much movement with the controls or anything. It's not like a fighting game, so you can kind of relax in bed and kind of basically watch a movie essentially.
Right. It's decent. I usually don't like Telltale games, but I bought the first episode on PS4 and I never finished it because I got bored. But I finished the first episode on the Switch, and the ending of the episode, the story, it clicked when that first episode ended. I was like, okay, this is cool. And then Wood and I bought what's that Switch game that just came out? Phantom Breaker Overdrive. It has 10 games.
Yeah, I was looking at that. I almost bought it actually yesterday. I was really looking at it.
Fuck that developer and fuck that game.
It's what? Why? What's wrong?
The game says it has online co-op, so we bought it to play it online last night on his channel, and there's no online co-op.
Wow.
It's advertised for it?
Yes. And like I didn't, and like he was like, "Did you look at their website?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm on their website right now. They say it is now out on the Nintendo Switch, and it has online co-op for up to 4 players, and there's no online co-op." And I'm like, "What?
Weird. What?" So it's advertised for it, but it's just not there. That's odd. Is it like? I wonder if it's a patch that they're going to add down the road or something.
Dude, I have no idea, but it was $10, and like we started up the stream last night with the full intent of playing that game, and then we were like, "Oh, okay."
Wait, is it only local co-op? Because I'm looking at the game on Steam as well, and I know in the bottom it says it's online, but then up in their description it only says local.
Interesting.
No, if you go to what was it 5PBP is the name of the company, and Phantom Breaker. Okay, so Phantom Breaker. Switch. Oh God, I can't spell.
Phantom Breaker. Oh God, this looks awful.
I mean, it's a 2D fighter. It's classic. You level up and everything in it too, right? I was looking. I was like, this kind of reminds me of Scott Pilgrim almost by the art style. Right. But if you level up and it's a full beat 'em up, that could actually be really fun. Again, it could be like Scott Pilgrim, which I really like. I love that game, by the way.
There were a few beat 'em ups that came out after it that are actually a lot better. I got to show you.
Oh yeah, well, Castle Crashers is awesome too.
Yeah, I'm a big Castle.
Really like Castle Crashers. Yeah, that's one of the better beat 'em ups I've played in a long time.
All right, here's their stupid website.
I can't do the. I mean, Scott Pilgrim had some legit music though.
It did, yeah.
That was like the big thing for it.
Now their website won't even load for me. Okay, here we go, making progress. Phantom Breaker Battlegrounds Overtime available now on the Switch. Blah blah blah. Okay, what the hell happened? The font isn't loading on their website, and Chrome is like crashing.
Dude, fonts are hard, man.
Evidently. Anyways, I looked at it last night, and it clearly said there was online multiplayer.
Oh, okay, but it doesn't have that, so it's all local.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Like Mario Rabbids got that update, man. No online multiplayer. How does that happen there? That should be one that launched with an online multiplayer.
Well, I'm playing through right now. I spent almost all night last night playing with my best friend. We were playing what is that? The new Frozen Byte game. Oh God, 9 Parchments. We were playing 9 Parchments co-op, and it's surprisingly fun for how simple it is. But the whole time I kept being like, man, this kind of needs online co-op because a lot of my friends live farther away, and it was one of those things where I don't know, especially with those dungeon crawlers. Having offline only dungeon crawlers always feels weird. Like it's so easy to put multiplayer in that.
Does it not have multiplayer online?
It is no, it does not have online multiplayer. From what I saw, it's local only. And it's what's weird is that it's fun. It's also one of those weird games where like you level up like each color of your clothes you level up, it seems like if I put on a red pair of clothes, it's like, hello, my name is Cornelius, which is one of the characters. And then you level up and then it's like, oh, let me change my costume. Okay, this is a new Cornelius. You're back to level 1. Like, why are you doing this?
Let me ask you a question. Did you guys get 9 Parchments at all? The actual, like the full version, not just the demo?
Yeah. Like I'm playing the full version. They sent me the full version.
Does that have online?
I don't think so. I've got a Switch right here. Watch
I know the Switch version has like local because I remember I bought it when it came out. The day it came out, I was like, I'll spend the money on it, and I got it, and I haven't tried. I haven't checked to see if it's online. But if that does, Sean, that's the game you should be getting and playing online with Wood.
It says it has online and local co-op with 1 to 4 players on Nintendo's website, but obviously websites mean nothing anymore. Because
so it sounds like it's a friends list only thing. So it looks like you create a game and then you invite somebody to it.
Oh, so that's a game to get, Sean. That's kind of like Gauntlet almost. Kind of like Gauntlet Legends. That's a good game to play.
Very Gauntlet-y. And you know what's weird? It's actually harder than it looks. Like later on, it's interesting because it's one of those games where they give you like one guy will be able to get like a death spell, which is like a laser beam, a fire spell, an electric spell, and then another person gets like life and ice and something else. And so monsters only have particular weaknesses, so you end up having to very much like play off each other's strengths, or you're screwed.
But you can do team damage to each other too, right? Like you can actually hurt each other.
Yes, badly. Yes, yeah. That's definitely a downside. But that's why I always play as the chick who can heal, and you basically just drop like a puddle of healing energy. And so I basically just would just drop tons. You could drop like 5 at a time and stack your heals up. And so I just wait till my partner is almost dead, teleport to him, and drop them all on his face.
I mean, that's the game to get, Sean, if you guys are trying to play online together. Nine Parchments is basically the beat 'em up, but you also level up and you get weapons and tons of stuff. It's actually pretty cool.
I just wish that I could get a refund for this $10 game.
They don't have refunds on the Switch eShop yet, do they?
No.
I forgot about that. Well, I mean, just recently, well, not recently, but kind of recently, they added it to Xbox, and I don't even know, does PS4 have that yet?
PS4 has refunds.
Do they? Okay.
Refunds. Yeah.
Okay, because I remember I bought something like a year ago on it, and I couldn't refund it. And I feel like that's something they added in the past, like, 6 or 7 months.
Yes, and I've only done it, but I had to actually go to their live chat. I tried to do a refund, and I clicked the button, and nothing happened. I ended up having to do the thing where you sit there, and someone like goes, "Hello, I'm a Sony representative. What's broken?" That kind of thing.
Luckily, it was only like a $10 game, right, Sean? It could have been worse. It could have been worse.
Someone in the chat said, "Yeah, it could be like the $60."
Yeah, it could have been like the $60 I spent on WWE just to make that one video telling people not to buy WWE, and then Sean buys it anyway. Now I'm just kidding.
So Kopicha in the chat says that Phantom Breaker, from what he knows, will have online later with the patch and won't have online during the initial release. That's so stupid.
Yeah, well, like I specifically bought what is it called? Stardew Valley on Switch so that I could play with my girlfriend at the time. Because they were like, it'll have co-op, and then finally afterward, like it comes out, I buy it, it's in my store, and I'm playing it, and I was like, how do I unlock this? Like, co-op will come out in the next 6 months. I was like, oh, well, I probably shouldn't have put co-op in the trailer then.
Yo, Palmer Lucky just tweeted out that the PSVR is going on sale for $199. That includes the camera and Gran Turismo.
Wow! Whoa! Wow!
That is cheap.
Yeah,
I might actually buy a PSVR for that. That's
no joke.
Cheap.
Holy crap! Yeah, wow.
$199. Wow. Yeah, I think that's a PSX deal that's going to happen soon, like for everybody. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's neat. So a lot of stuff happened over the week. Is there anywhere in particular you guys want to start with? Because there's quite a bit of stuff.
Let's start video game awards, since I'm sure that's what we're all most interested in.
Yeah, let's talk about the video game awards, because it's pretty awesome. All right, listen, I think a lot of people go into these things and they go, this will be okay. Like I remember, Sean, you were like, it'll probably be okay, or it'll be terrible, or whatnot. I think overall it was pretty good overall. The reveals were pretty good. I know we had From Software show up with nothing more than, they didn't even show up with an actual logo. Like, it was really funny how excited everyone got, including myself. And then I sat back and realized all they did was show us a logo of their company. They didn't even show us a logo of the game like Nintendo did with Metroid. They were just like, From Software. But I did see, Max, I saw you thinking maybe it was Bloodborne 2.
Yep. Yeah, because the Bloodborne 2 account actually retweeted it, and that account doesn't retweet anything.
There you go. Yeah, I was thinking that as well, but I'm not really sure where. It's weird that we haven't heard anything else about it. I was thinking maybe they're going to show it at PlayStation Experience tonight or today at some point. Haven't seen anything about it though. So I don't know.
One of my best friends, the guy I grew up with named Nick, is obsessed with Dark Souls, plays them all day, every day, and Bloodborne's his favorite game of all time. And he's actually thinking that Shadows Die Twice may be the name of the project.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. You think that's just like the project name, not the game's name? Or just the...
Yeah, I mean, I knowing them, because what's interesting is one of their first series they ever did was called Shadow Tower, and they did 3 of them. 1 came out in America on the PS1, and then 2 came out in China and Europe on the PS2. So it could be a new Shadow Tower game, as weird as it is.
Somebody saying in the chat, maybe it's a Tenchu.
Yeah.
I keep hearing that. I see that thrown around now and then too. Yeah, guys. Palmer Lucky just tweeted out $199 going on sale. Camera and Gran Turismo with the headset. That's a deal. I think I might actually snipe one of those. That's a really good deal. Maybe for Christmas. That might be what that deal's for. I'm not sure. So we're thinking it has something to do with, I mean, whatever game it is, it's probably one we're going to die on a lot, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
So we also had Soul Calibur. Soul Calibur 6 got announced, which is kind of expected. Because, guys, remember we had that leak come out that said that it's in development and it's going to be shown to us at some point. Mm-hmm. Now it's currently listed for PS4, Xbox One, PC, and then console, apparently. You guys see that on their site? It's very weird. It says console at the bottom.
No.
I don't really know why that is. It's weird. There's a lot of speculation. It's like, oh, maybe that's a placeholder for Switch. I don't know. But it says console in that, like, there's 4 listings: Xbox One, PS4, PC, console. So it's almost like a placeholder. But Soul Calibur 6 shows up, and oh, look at Robert Erickson dropping 50 sex on us.
The sex is here.
Yeah. Oh, that's right, Evan. Yeah, Evan, you're not in the right-hand corner this time. He says Evan's not in the right-hand corner. Oh man, that's fun. So Soul Calibur 6 shows up. They didn't show us any guest characters, which is kind of what I was thinking they were going to do. Like maybe one or two people. Like, okay, maybe they'll save that for PlayStation Experience. Nothing that I've seen so far. Maybe they'll save that for, I guess, just E3. But what do you guys think about Soul Calibur 6? I think I saw all of us pretty much tweet something out about it because it's on all systems for the most part, minus the Switch, which that actually might still happen based on their listings, which is interesting. C for Evan and PS4, Xbox One for everyone else. So what do you guys think about this one?
It looks legit. I'm glad to see it back.
Did y'all see? Apparently, they've said that this is going to be sort of a remake of Soul Calibur 1 and 2. They want to do it like Mortal Kombat 9 and go back to the beginning.
That's a cool idea. Is it going to have like you think all the unlocks and everything that we were used to back then?
Yes. So I think it's going to be much closer to the original roots, and I'm hoping it's just the roster of 1 and 2 combined. I would love to see, because no offense to those later characters, but after a while, I missed people like Kalik and Maxi just running around. Like I missed the normal sort of like before all the demons showed up, and it was really weird.
You can almost get nostalgic for that, right? Like that game possibly, if that's what they go with, could sell on nostalgia.
Yeah,
which would be kind of interesting if you have like the people who played it on the Dreamcast will actually recognize most of the roster then, if that's what they do, or people who played it on the Xbox, the PS2, or the GameCube. Because the big thought here was, how are they going to do? Known really well for their guest characters. They bring characters in from all over the place and they make them exclusive to each system. And so now we were all trying to figure out what are the guest characters going to be here. We figured if it was announced for Nintendo's system, we would have Link in there, right? I don't think you're going to see Mario show up with a crowbar, so you'd probably get Link.
That'd be good.
Or I guess you could have pulled someone from Fire Emblem. But who would they have for, I guess, at this point, PlayStation? And then who would they have for Xbox? And I don't even know what they do for PC. People were, tweeting out jokingly like Gabe Newell. But
yeah, I mean, that's the joke. But honestly, with weapons, it should be Geralt.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense actually. But what do you guys think for PlayStation and for Xbox though?
I mean, I'm sure y'all have read the same stuff I've read, that Sony is trying to make Spider-Man the official mascot of the PlayStation now. So in some form or another, it'd be weird, but I think that if they end up having a console exclusive character, I think it might be Spider-Man or some either future Spider-Man or something.
I'm seeing Kratos in the chat even.
Kratos, yeah.
But I mean, here's the thing. I would say that sounds crazy, but we also just had Darth Vader in a Soul Calibur.
Yep, so, and freaking Yoda was so broken. I hated Yoda.
Yoda was obscenely broken, man. And then I guess Starkiller was also in there.
I think Starkiller, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't really like Yoda as much, just because if anyone picked him, like if we would all gather around the TV like back in the old days, someone would always pick Yoda, and everyone would just be like, I'm not playing this anymore.
Yeah,
I hate this game, right?
Well. That same game had the custom character for the first time, and I used to make this guy who had nunchucks made out of fish, and I used to just be like, whoop, 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 trout, and people were just like, screw your trout. Like, people got so mad at me.
Yeah, that was cool when they did the creative character stuff. That was kind of neat. So what would they do for Xbox? Could they bring in Master Chief? Is that a thing?
I mean, they put Master Chief in Tekken, right? Wasn't that Tekken? Final Bout?
Killer Instinct.
Yeah. Dude, Fulgore. I would love to see Fulgore in there.
Person says the main character from Horizon Zero Dawn could fit in there pretty well.
Oh yeah, Alloy.
Yeah, that actually work well. I mean, I guess who else do they really have that would fit Marcus Phoenix? I don't really know. Xbox doesn't. I mean, could they just put a Porsche from Forza in there? No,
exactly.
They don't really have a lot, do they?
No,
I mean, they'll put Cuphead in there somehow.
Yeah, Cuphead. People will be like, "Oh, cool, that's the PC mascot. What's the Xbox man now?"
Oh, that's it.
I really liked when they put Spawn in there. I thought that was really cool. Hayachi was good, and then when Link, that was probably. I still think. I know I'm a little biased because I was old school and I really like some of the old school stuff. That was my favorite generation of Soul Calibur.
What was interesting We bought, me and my friends, we actually saved up and bought all 3 versions of it. That's the only time I've ever remember doing that in my life, is we actually tracked down all 3 versions because we genuinely thought the characters were that different. Like, it was worth it.
Yeah, I remember I had it on the GameCube and then I had it on the Xbox later, and I really liked the GameCube version, mostly just because I liked playing as Link, because he was actually really well done in the game. But Spawn actually was pretty cool too. So
yeah, he had a move that could one shot. It was actually really broken.
Yeah. So I was a big fan of playing as either of those. And strangely, Link, I didn't think it would work. He actually worked out really well in that game. Yeah. So
he could juggle. He was overpowered in his juggling. You could like uppercut people and then just keep hitting them with the arrows. That was awful.
Yeah, I remember that was like part of the trailer. He like uppercut somebody with the master sword and then shot him in the air with a
oh, I hated that.
Like, we knew right away that's what everyone was going to be doing. Online play back then would have been terrible. Man. So we had a few other announcements. I know the big one that everybody was talking about was Bayonetta. It's Bayonetta 1 and 2 going to the Switch as a double pack. That's February 16th next year. So actually only a couple months away. 2 months, 2.5 months. Yeah, not even. Yeah, two months and a week, I guess, at this point. Very soon. By the way, I prefer announcements like that are much sooner. Like, we're still waiting for games from Sony that they announced 3 years ago. I like when that happens. Now, Bayonetta 3 was also announced to an extent, right? They gave us the old, here's the kind of the same thing they did with Metroid, except a better trailer. But basically said it's in development. No word on when, just it's coming out. Now, this could mean it's not out till 2019. This could mean it's a holiday 2018 title. This is Platinum Games. But I don't know. What did you guys think about this announcement for Bayonetta?
Man, I know I'm the odd one out here, but as much as I like those games, they're definitely the type of thing if I beat and I was like, okay, cool, those were fun, I'm never going to try them again. So even a cool remaster of them or a cool re-release, I'm glad they're getting like access to a wider audience. I
think that was their big goal here, because I think people are starting to realize, mostly because they're coming up on the Wii U's lifetime sales, a lot of people who didn't have a Wii U are they're buying the Switch, and the only way to play the second one is through a Wii U. So if you never played the second one because you didn't have a Wii U, I guess you can get on the Switch. I guess that's the idea. They seem to want to move a lot of the Wii U games over to the Switch right now because of that.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same though. Like, like when they said that it was coming to the Switch, I was like, hey, that's cool. I'm not gonna I probably will buy it.
I'll probably get it too, just because I'll probably cover it. But if I was just a regular person who had a Wii U and I played the second one, I probably wouldn't, jump through hoops to get it or anything. Also, I have it on the PC on Steam, I believe too, because I bought it when it showed up there because it's like awesome. I can max this sucker out on PC.
Right. So it's like, it wasn't nothing. Yeah. Bayonetta 3. Honestly, like, I thought it was cool that they announced it, but I wasn't shocked. Like, I fully expected that. I always expected that.
And I saw the pricing too, and I was like, no, I really don't know if I really want to double dip on it, because Bayonetta 2 on the Switch is $50 by itself. And then the first one, if you just buy it by itself, it's $30. So, but if you buy them together, it's $60. So either way, they'll discount it in whatever way you need to make them both add up to $60. So if you buy the second one first, the first one will cost you $10. Or if you buy the first one before the second one, then the second one becomes $30. So again, if you missed it, I noticed a lot of people on Twitter were like, I never played them. I'll check them out before the third one. Yeah, that makes sense, because if they just brought the third one, people would be scrambling to buy a Wii U instead of scrambling to buy a Switch. Yeah. So it makes sense from that degree, and I understand. But I've played them. I think most of the people on here, except for Evan, I guess. Evan, you didn't play the second one because you didn't have a Wii U.
Yeah, not the second one.
But the first one is easily accessible on Steam right now, and it's a good game. But what do you guys think about Bayonetta 3?
I think that'll be released in I think that'll come out winter, like November probably.
Okay.
Yeah. I think they're trying to just set up all their cards to say, hey, remember how busy 2017 is? Guess what? 2018 is going to be that busy.
It could be, because we still have that direct that's supposed to happen at some point in January, we assume, right? I mean, it makes sense. But I view Bayonetta as what they would call a AA game, right? I don't see it as like a big AAA game. I don't think the budget's anywhere near that. I think it's a pretty cheap game to make compared to others, and the marketing isn't super massive, right? Like the marketing. Do you ever see Bayonetta marketed when it was coming out on TV or anything?
Yeah, a tiny bit, not a ton, but I definitely saw at least a little bit with Bayonetta 2. I didn't see anything about Bayonetta 1, but Bayonetta 2 definitely got pushed. Some.
I think some of the more expensive marketing they did was having Playboy advertised for Bayonetta 2.
I remember that.
Yeah, that was really weird, right?
Check out this Nintendo game.
Yeah. So we have Bayonetta 3. We think it'll be out. We think it's a 2018 game for the most part. Because it's not a mass. The thing about these kind of games is they're not open world style game, they're more linear. So you won't get kind of the quality assurance you would need for an open world game where you have to run into every single corner and nook and cranny and test it, you know. So I don't think it's going to be pushed 2019. That'll be something to just kind of bolster. That might even be an October release. Now I think about it. And then they have something like a Pokemon maybe in November. I might be pushing it. So we go from there. Now we had some awards that were really shown off, and it was very interesting. The awards show went kind of a different way than I thought it would. First of all, everyone who's worried about it in the chat, no, PUBG did not win Game of the Year.
No, best multiplayer.
It won best multiplayer, right? Yeah. They also showed off the map for it, which is the second map for the game.
Yeah, the desert map.
Desert map, which I have to say when I looked at it, I was like, okay, that does at least look different than the other map. I will say that. But Game of the Year went to Zelda Breath of the Wild. I don't know if people were really surprised by that. Was that like I wasn't really surprised to a degree. I mean, I had that in the back of my mind. I was like, PUBG's gonna win and the internet's gonna catch on fire. But Zelda Breath of the Wild wins. What do you guys think about Zelda winning Game of the Year?
Not really unexpected. Y'all know my personal opinion. I think personally I liked Horizon more. I think
I'm actually going to talk about Horizon Zero Dawn. I was going to ask you specifically about a few things, Max. That's interesting.
That game to me is a phenomenal, near perfect experience. But I understand the fact that Zelda has a lot more mass appeal. And let's face it, this was voted on by judges. More judges probably did a full master file of Zelda than they did of Horizon. So I understand the fact that Zelda is the better Game of the Year winner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they pulled. I think they polled industry people from sites and everything, and I think they had a third of it was public vote. I think it was. I think it was a mix of stuff.
It was 93 journalists voted on it in secret, and then 25% was poll, kind of like to break tie.
I had a one troubling thing that I noticed at the Game Awards. Did Horizon Zero Dawn win any award?
No.
I thought it won one of those like ones they mumbled, like it has.
Yeah, that was a problem with Game Awards. Yeah,
we'll talk about that soundtrack or something like that. I thought it got something, but definitely nothing that got them on stage. They flew them all out to sit in the crowd.
Yeah, like they got beat out by a person who's never voice acted before.
I'm pretty sure it didn't win anything at the game.
Yeah. Like somebody in marketing or whatever was like, "Hey, can you come over here and voice act for a bit," and then end up winning the award over Horizon Zero Dawn?
Well, it's so interesting too because she ended up doing. It's so interesting to me the fact that she did all the mocap and everything. Like, man, humongous credit to her. And the fact that she got to share the stage with Andy Serkis, like seeing her excitement was so awesome.
Yeah, like she just randomly found a talent for Hellblade out of nowhere as a voice actor. It was really odd to see. I mean, it makes you wonder what anybody. I guess, well, not anybody, but you never know who could be a voice actor. I guess. It was pretty cool to see that. I mean, it is hard to believe after seeing the performance in Hellblade of the main character that she'd never done it before. That honestly shocked me when I heard that.
Yeah.
But I think Horizon Zero Dawn's real problem is that it was good, I think, across the board in all assets, the gameplay, like we said, voice acting for the character and everything, the scope of the game, the art direction, everything. But everything it went up against, I think, excelled for that category, like over it. So it was there and it was nominated for a lot of stuff. And everything it went up against, Persona or actually who won best? Oh, Nier. Like it went up against Nier a lot. Nier won a lot.
Well, and then best RPG went to Persona and stuff. So it reminds me of that old children's story of like this guy they keep trying to execute him, but he has 7 brothers and each brother is immune to a different thing where it's like, we're going to drown you. Oh, well, here's my brother who can hold his breath for 10 weeks. And they keep trying to put him up against the one thing that they're perfect against. So even though I think Horizon Zero Dawn is all around a freaking amazing experience, each one of these things definitely beats them. Like, that one category, you're slightly worse. This category, you're slightly worse. So unfortunately, you go home with nothing.
Yeah, that was the problem. I can't believe they didn't throw him like one on stage award. Like, just throw him something. It was very weird to see that. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure to win stuff somewhere. Like it'll probably get a game of the year at some place.
Oh yeah. Well, and it's sold like crazy. So no matter what, even if they don't get any awards, I mean, they definitely are making their money back, and they've already said they're making a sequel. So I mean, no matter what,
they made plenty of money. Oh yeah, that's obvious. But it's very odd to see that. And then I think it got unlucky, man. It came out the same year as Zelda. I mean, what do you do? Well, like any game is like, Zelda came out.
Wasn't the release dates like 4 days apart? That was probably not a good idea.
Yeah, it was like it was like 4. Yeah, because that came out the 28th, and then Zelda came out on the 3rd of March.
Yeah.
So I mean, what do you do about that? You just go, well, we got our game. That's about it.
Especially because people don't realize this, but a lot of times when you're planning release dates, you're planning it years out sometimes. Like literally, like you're picking a date so strategically. All right, this is going to be our release window. You can't like change it at the last minute. Like, oh, there's Zelda. No, but I mean, it's sold crazy. So
I am going to let you in on something, guys. I actually wanted a different game to win Game of the Year instead of Zelda.
Oh my
so
gosh!
I wanted Mario to win.
So did I.
Yeah, I did. I was Team Mario. If you were on the stream with me, I was like, I want Mario to win. Come on, Mario. Secretly also kind of wanted PUBG to win just to see what would happen, but I was Team Mario. I was like, I want to see Mario win. I feel like I had more fun with Mario compared to Zelda. That's just me. That's just me. Mario. Honestly, either game is really fun. You can't go wrong. But I understand Zelda has that, like you said, Max, has that mass appeal and everything. But it's
Mario has more mass appeal than Zelda, though. Mario outsells Zelda.
That's true, but that's true. But Zelda was also on the Wii U.
Fuck the Wii U.
It sold pretty well on the Wii U.
Well, it is, and it's also the people who had the longest time to be. So the whole thing is, all these reviewers were given their pamphlets like a month in advance, and so they were supposed to beat stuff. And by then, people had already probably spent the most time with Zelda. I see your Mario Odyssey poster.
Robbed. Recount.
I've got a Mario Odyssey hat around here that Nintendo sent. I don't know where it's at.
Am I the only one who thinks that the Breath of the Wild DLC is bullshit?
I haven't played it yet. I'm sorry. I have to get Xenoblade done because I have to do a review for it. So I'm trying to get that thing done because Nintendo is like, you got 2 weeks.
They did.
Okay. Okay. So if I don't finish it, I'll feel like I haven't gotten all the way through. I mean, I've played almost 30 hours of Xenoblade at this point. I still don't even feel like I'm halfway through the game.
Yeah, I put 40 hours into it in a weekend. Yeah. And when I did that, I was so dead tired. I made my video. I was super proud of it. And someone tweeted me, I can't believe you half-assed this video. And I was like, are you kidding? Do you know what I had to do to get this video done? Are you kidding?
I'm running into that issue I ran into with Zelda where I'm playing Xenoblade and I go, oh, what's over there? Like I'm running into that issue with Xenoblade.
Well, yeah, especially because Xenoblade just has so many quests and they are so cool and they give you such good rewards. It's definitely worth it to like, oh, what's over here? Oh, you're going to give me $10,000 to go find an egg? Oh, I'll go look for it.
It's an extremely addictive game. I don't know if that's just me. Like I'm playing it and I'm like, this game is really addictive. There are parts that annoy me in the game, but I'm playing it and overall I'm like, I'm a big JRPG person. I'm like, this is actually really fun. I was having fun
one of my only real complaints that annoys me more the further I go in it. I wish I could lock the time. I hate that it keeps going to darkness, and they don't tell you this directly. You have to read the fine print, but you actually can't hit as well at night. Your accuracy goes down by 20% at night. So as soon as it's technically dusk, even if it's still sunny in the game, all of a sudden your characters are just miss, and you have to stop, press wait. Go back to daytime. It's like just make it daytime all the time. I don't care.
Well, let me we'll get back to Xenoblade in a second because I don't really like the RNG in it. That really bothers me. Like when it's like, hey, go find this plant or this element, and then it's like, and then your little quest indicator disappears, and you're like, where do I go?
Yeah, or when it really says that mountain, like what?
Yeah, and then I'm like, I need to look it up. I need to look it up real quick where I'm getting this stuff, and it's like, oh, go to the other side of the entire map, not even the section you're in, the entire map, and there's a little spot there you can dig up. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
But Sean, what don't you like about the Zelda DLC? Because I have it downloaded, I haven't played it yet.
The way you get to like the shrines just pisses me off. So. I was talking about it in the chat. They give you the trident thing, and they're like, okay, this trident you hit. This is the only weapon you can use. But I found out you can use your bow, but it doesn't tell you any of that, of course. They're like, here's your trident. It'll kill everything in one hit, but you can only get hit one time. And I'm like, okay, just have to be defensive. And then you go and you have to like take over these little like clusters of enemies, and like 90% of them are using projectile attacks, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, it's just it's hard, but it's not challenging hard. It's like unfair hard because anything can kill you. A swarm of bats comes in and you can't run away fast enough. Okay, you're dead. A fire-breathing enemy comes up. Okay, you're dead. It's just, I don't know. Like, I don't like it. I don't like the way that they did that. Like, I cleared out one area and did the shrine in it, and that was pretty fun. It was challenging, but even in the shrines, it's the same thing. And people are telling me that like it's the intro part of it, and it's like, okay, but why is the intro just so? It just feels hard for the sake of being hard.
Yeah,
I haven't tried it yet. When do you get the motorcycle? Is that from beating everything like they said?
Yes.
Okay.
Sean, you're not alone. I've actually heard a lot of people in the Zelda community. I've heard people actually complaining that this narrative DLC doesn't really care, that it doesn't really carry on the story. Apparently, a lot of people were hoping that it would kind of flesh out the world more, and it's just more dungeons. So it's a
prequel, right? That's the idea of this, like before the champions like died, kind of.
Right. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't done any research on it. I haven't played it. I've just heard people say that they were hoping that it would be either post-Ganon content or kind of flesh out the story, and apparently people are actually quite unsatisfied.
Leo, I see your super chat in there, Leo. We'll I'll answer any super chat questions when we get a little intermission thing after.
And to be fair, people are crucifying me in the comments saying that I need to get good. To be fair, I haven't touched Zelda since probably May. So like I have no fucking idea how to play.
Yeah, that's the thing about people, man, like us who have to like go from game to game. It's tough to like Zelda. We had to play a lot of back then, and then we stopped playing it for a little while, and then we have to go back to it. And it's like because we jump from game to game, and we have to really pick the games we want to play in our leisure time. It's not as easy when something like this pops up, even though we know it's coming, and it's like we got to go back and relearn all the stuff, all the controls and everything.
Yeah,
like I mean, I've probably played over 100 games easily.
Yeah,
since I've played Zelda, and it's just like, what do these buttons do? Stasis? What is this crap? I don't remember.
It's yeah, I haven't played it yet. I'm a little. I guess that's a shame that it's not. I guess it was supposed to be like post-game stuff. Was that the idea? I don't know. I feel like people kind of turned into that though, because based on what I've seen on Twitter, there was never really any explanation as to what this was going to be. It's just people put out like predictions and a hypothesis, and they analyzed footage there, and somehow everyone came to the conclusion that this is post-game stuff when I guess they never said that. I don't know.
No marketing said that. Nobody ever looks in the camera and goes, "This is after Ganon super dead, y'all."
Yeah, it's that's interesting. I mean, I'm gonna go back and play it, but I feel like it's not like any massive story thing going on, Sean.
No, and from what people are saying in the comments that there's no stuff post story wise. So,
well, I still finished Xenoblade before I get back to it, but I will. I'll check it out eventually. I bought the season pass a month or two ago. I bought it when the Heroes one came out.
Yeah,
I didn't even buy the first set. I bought the first set. When the Game Awards were on, like
I bought it, installed. I've bought both the DLCs now and installed them, and I've never played them. I think it's gonna be my January. Normally, I get like a free week in January. I think that'll be my January game, is to go and actually beat both those DLCs in a week.
Yeah, that'll be good. So yeah, but when are you gonna start Xenoblade when you get it, Sean? Or are you gonna like carve out some time for that?
I'm gonna play it casually. I'm not gonna cover it on the channel.
You.
So I'm gonna attempt to.
So he's gonna play it over the course of 5 years until we get Xenoblade 3.
Dude, it is a game and a half. I'm gonna tell you that now. I will say, based on where I'm not, like I said, I'm still getting there in the story. I have to say, I was a little surprised with the story's actually not bad. It's actually decent.
Yeah,
it's pretty good. I'm playing it.
I like it, man.
Wow.
I like the world. I like the whole idea of Titans and stuff. And I don't know. I like that each one's a different ecosystem, and there's kind of a civil war. It's so Skies of Arcadia to me, but on top of that, I kind of like that the whole world is so like everything does feel so tense, where everybody's like living in these nice cities, and then there's just armies cruising up at the same time, just literally being like, "Hi, we're about to go to war. Does anybody want to join the army? Because when this happens, your town might get burnt down." I think it's like, wow, this is surprisingly realistic and dark for a Nintendo game.
Yeah, they have like the blades and everything in it that like fuse to people and everything. It's crazy. I like it a lot though. I like the story. It's actually it's a lot better to follow than I thought it would be. It's not like Persona in terms of story, but it's up there. I like it. It's good. It's definitely captivating. Keeps you playing.
Have you met the guy with the scar on his face yet? The big X who has a really bad Australian accent?
Yes, I have. He's the big guy, right?
Yeah. I always laugh because they'll have a serious argument. Like he's the only guy I think who has bad animation, and he walks like a robot. And so everyone's like, "We need to have a serious discussion." And he'll like robot up and be like, "You want to talk about blades?" It's like, don't ruin this moment.
He's the one. I can't say anything about it actually because that would ruin parts of the story.
Yeah. Yes. But yes, I know what you're talking about. Yes, he's the guy.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Good parts of the story. Surprising twists and parts of the story. I will say that. Parts I wouldn't expect. Again, if it was like 2 years from now, I could talk about it because I feel like everyone at least had a chance to play it. But we're not that far away. So, but yes, it'll be something we look back and talk about, kind of like how we talk about other RPGs that have those elements in it, parts of that story that you don't expect. Again, I can't really say, can't go into detail about that. I could the max off camera, or off stream, but Sean's here, and that would ruin part of the story.
Yeah.
So, guys, tell me about Death Stranding, because Sean made a video, and then Max has a different opinion on this.
Yeah, but I'm a long-term Kojima fan. You have to have drunk that Kool-Aid many a moon ago in order to. Now I can watch his stuff, and it's just like someone dumping ketchup on my face. I'm like, this is why we're here.
So here's the thing. Did you guys watch the PlayStation? There's something I got from the PlayStation Experience last night about Death Stranding. That was kind of interesting.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
We had Cerny, Mark Cerny.
Yes. Mark Cerny.
He said that after you play for 4 to 5 hours, everything makes sense.
Yeah.
And then Kojima said that what we watched, the footage, is actually rendered in real time.
Yes. Well, and that the underwater segment was playable, which means that weird part where somebody was actually trying to pull the guy out from under the van, and the guy trying to stab himself and stuff, that is actual moments that will happen in some form in the final game.
He at least said PS4 Pro, because there was this theory going around that this is actually a PS5 game.
Yeah.
So he at least said PS4 Pro, like straight up. I'm like, all right, at least he said that. But Sean, you're kind of on the sense of he could be showing us red herring stuff even.
Yeah.
Like what he's showing us now could not even be in the game. And you're more along the lines of, why are people getting as excited as they are if we don't have anything about the game technically other than probably some plot details, I think, since we keep seeing the same baby essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Like my thing is this. I am also a longtime Kojima fan. And in my video at the end of it, I sort of made an analogy that a lot of people seem to like. Basically, my analogy was this. When the WWF was at its peak in the late 90s, it was because of two people predominantly: the owner of the company, Vince McMahon, and the lead writer of the company, Vince Russo. Now, Vince Russo ended up leaving the WWF and going to WCW. So you would think that when one of the main cogs, the person who's doing all the writing of the characters of the story and everything else, goes to the other company is going to flourish, because that's the reason why. And when he went there, it didn't necessarily flourish because of one main reason. You see, Kojima has always had someone over him, with Konami. Kojima could do whatever he wanted in his games. Some of his games were pretty damn crazy, but there was always someone there to say, you know what, maybe that's a little bit too much. Maybe that's a little bit too far. And that's sort of the parallel I'm seeing with this, is that Konami essentially was Vince McMahon and Kojima is Vince Russo. And now he has no Vince McMahon. He has no one above him to say, okay, maybe you should throttle this back a little bit. Maybe this is a little too out there. Because what you've seen so far is legitimately batshit crazy stuff that is just abstract to be abstract. Like, even if that is part of the game, a baby inside of you that comes up in your throat. Like, what the fuck is that? What is the oil? What invisible enemies? And then like the weird person and then the really big person. Like, it looks cool. It looks cool, and I understand why people like it because it looks cool, but you still don't know anything. You don't know anything about the gameplay. You don't know anything about the story besides what you've seen. And this game's been announced a year and a half ago, and it's supposed to come out in, 2019? So shouldn't we know a little bit more, considering we're going into 2018, knowing as little as we did when the game was first announced?
It is, but we're just excited. Like, you're hating on it, and you're like acting like we shouldn't be excited. Why can't it's just exciting?
My thing is, like, people are acting like the game is going to be great because Kojima is behind the game. Kojima has made games that are not great. Zone of the Enders is not a great series. Boat Kai is not a great series.
I was literally about to say how I actually like both of those. I especially like Boktai Sun is in Your Hands. I think those are fantastic. Yeah, legitimately. I've played those a bunch, and I legitimately think that so much of Kojima's style is about like sneaking and then trying to find weird ways to add stuff on top of sneaking. And so this newest game of invisible enemies and probably interdimensional future travel bullshit, I can drink that Kool-Aid. Let's do this.
And start which flavor Kool-Aid you drinking?
I know, right? LSD.
Yeah, well, see,
right. So the reason this is exciting to me is because it's just so interesting to see somebody. It feels like we're being thrown in the deep end of an idea, and I feel like so many people, when they want to show you a game, they start at the beginning. This is a trailer of a segment of the opening story. If I'm showing you Last Guardian, it's the kid meeting Trico. Hideo Kojima, it seems like on purpose, he's starting at the ending. He's kind of showing you, look, everybody's already dead. The monsters have already won. Look, babies are inside your chest, and that abortion's going to cost you too much. Let's figure this out. And so I'm willing to sit on this roller coaster until I hit that first stop.
I think I also saw Sean seemed kind of frustrated with people saying that. I saw this on Twitter as well, Sean, that it's probably going to be the best game ever made and stuff. Have you seen those kind of tweets?
Yeah, those are crazy. Like, those are crazy.
Like, that's my real problem. Is you?
Yeah.
That would be like saying Bayonetta 3 is going to be fucking amazing. It's going to be the greatest.
We can say the same thing about Metroid. Like, for all
I was going to make that analogy.
Exactly.
I was going to make that analogy of the people who are already saying that Metroid's going to be the best thing ever, and we haven't seen anything. And it's like the people who are saying this is the best thing ever, I sort of understand because at least we have something.
Sure.
But yeah, I definitely think that right now it is such an amorphous blob. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it, but I'm fully willing to say that if it sucks, I am a man who is honest and true to his word. If Death Stranding ends up sucking, I will be the first to make a video apologizing to RGT, the prophet of all things Kojima suckitude. I will punch a copy of Boktai in your honor.
I mean, I like Kojima. Like, I used to like Metal Gear used to be my shit, and then they lost me on 5. But like Metal Gear Solid 3, ask me what my favorite game is any day of the week, and Metal Gear Solid 3 will come up on a day between Sunday and Saturday. Like, that game is a masterpiece. But I just feel like without someone to throttle him, that he might go too crazy. And I feel like in the same vein, the people that are saying that Death Stranding is just going to be this amazing game, it's like, you can't say that. You can't say that based on what you've seen because you haven't really seen the game. You can't say Bayonetta 3 is going to be an amazing game because you liked Bayonetta 1 and 2. It has the potential, and you could say that you're looking forward to seeing what else is coming, but people just, and it's not even like just random people on Twitter. It's people like, you know, with hundreds of thousands of followers and people like industry.
Scoville. Did you see Max Scoville actually said, he was like, I'm not sure what I just watched, but in my 20 years in the industry, that was the most riveting goddamn trailer. It's like, okay, but tap the brakes.
Yeah, just like it's just crazy. Like, it just, if it's a great game, awesome. Like, that's great. You know, when they show some gameplay and you know what, sort of flesh out the story a little bit more, I am fully willing to check out the game if it looks like something I'll like. But I'm just also in the same breath not willing to, you know, proclaim Kojima as Jesus Christ and bow down to his glorious Asian wiener like Jeff Keighley does every time he thinks of the man, because it's just like, okay, let's keep it in reality. Like,
Did we lose Sean?
No,
What?
did we?
No. What, did we?
Hello? Hi? Are we up?
Hey?
John, is your stuff freaking out?
The
What?
Scorpion King is not a bad movie.
No, we're good.
Okay.
it just dropped audio, I think, for a minute there, while Sean was like mid rant on me. So we talked about the Death Stranding. What did you guys think about the overall awards show, though?
I know I'm the one person left who's dying on the hill that I didn't really care for it. Like,
I saw your video, man. You should have left that thing up.
I think the reason I took it down is that I didn't feel like it was focused. It was such an unfocused video. I just watched a 3-hour conference that I thought was slow and dragging, and I made a video that, let's be honest, was slow and dragging, and that's why I took it down. But I just feel like the Game Awards still has so many pacing issues. Like, at least we don't have Schick Hydrobot coming in and going, "Hey guys, touch your own face. Women love it." And at least now it's like better made, but I still think that it's not. I feel like they still do too many off-camera prize awards and stuff. Like, I don't know. Like, I think if we're gonna take the time to respect Nier Automata, let's actually have that weird, creepy director with the moon head come out and pick up an award and stuff instead of just playing 16 seconds of one of their theme songs on a violin.
You were frustrated that they pushed a lot of advertisements and cut out seemingly a bunch of awards for those advertisements.
Yep. 100%. That's my thing. It's like, look, you got to do ads. I understand that that's what pays the bills. But the fact that you had 6 commercial breaks for Star Wars Battlefront 2 and then give away and then mumble.
There's a reason for that. They're actually Battlefront's pretty desperate. We'll get to that.
Yeah. The fact that they just mumbled Metroid Samus Returns in the pre-show, they mentioned that Metroid Samus Returns is the best handheld game. And he literally mentioned that like 5 awards back to back. And he just mentioned that. It's like each one of those is actually a spectacular game that people spend
like they didn't bring
millions of hours on.
Persona didn't go up on stage, did they?
No, they didn't.
It's man.
And that's what's so ridiculous is that like best RPG, that Persona earned that. It's such a great game. It's so annoying that it's just like, whatever.
How many Rocket League commercials did we say, by the way?
I think it was 5.
It was a lot, right?
Yeah. And it was weird is that they were all different Rocket League commercials. Like, hey, look, it's a car on a kid's field. Buy Rocket League. Hey, look, it's 2 people playing Rocket League. Buy Rocket League. Like,
yeah. Uber Eats while you're at it. Get some McDonald's. It's like, what? Sean, what do you think about you were highly critical of it going into it? More so joking than anything else, I think. But where were you on the Game Awards? How it all turned out?
It was a lot better than last year.
Yes, it was.
It wasn't great. It wasn't good, but it was very average. And honestly, like, that's all I can expect. I think Keighley did a much better job this year. I still don't like how a lot of the awards are just an afterthought. I really like the Susan Marks thing. Like that was brilliantly put together. Whoever put that together was very cool. The Joseph guy, the drunk guy.
We're going to talk about him too.
Yes.
We're talking about
him.
He is my spirit animal. I want to.
Did you see there's such a great image and it says, "A Brother, A Tale of Two Sons is such a riveting game. What calm spirit could have created this?" And it shows Joseph Rose going, "Fuck the Oscars!" And it's like, oh, that's
I saw that. That was a good tweet.
So perfect.
Like he was amazing. He was just so amazing.
So this is something funny real quick. There was actually a leaked email from a EA insider when somebody was peeking around in leaked emails to figure out what happened to Mass Effect Andromeda. There was a quote about him, and it says, "Joseph Flores is an extremely passionate, well-driven, vision-focused guy. Keep him away from cameras or we will have a scandal." It's like, oh my God.
I saw that too, yeah.
They actually got him on camera, and it does cause a scandal. Like, you were right.
Somehow Jeff Keighley decided to test that theory.
Like, literally, though, like I think that's how I would be. It was kind of like when Old Dirty Bastard got up and hijacked the Source Awards that one year and was just like, Wu-Tang is for the children! And, like, everyone was like, like, people like that always just make, because they just don't care. Like, they're not your normal people. They just, I'm sort of like that. Like, I'm always going to, just say whatever in the company of whoever, and if something sucks. But I just thought it was great how EA is publishing that game, and he's like, fuck EA! And it's like, damn, dude,
I like that he strips it. They pay my bills. They give me money. Like, okay, Joseph. Like, let's not talk numbers.
Should have known there was a problem when he turned before he said anything and said, "Am I allowed to cuss?"
Yeah. Well,
like he should have known there was a problem right there.
I rewatched it this morning with my roommate, and there's definitely a point where he definitely loses track of where he is for a second, and he leans over and goes, "What was I saying?" And it's just like, "Ooh, I think you took a little bit of that nose medicine backstage."
He had a little too much to drink or sniff or something. But here's the other side. It was very entertaining to a lot of people. But if you guys remember, Jeff wants this to be as serious as the Oscars. That as he exclaimed right there, writing off the Oscars there. But Jeff wants this to be taken very seriously, professionally, and I think he really wants it to be more like a TV award show.
Yeah,
I think that's why you work in the commercials the way they do, because we're used to watching commercials on TV and everything. But with something like an outburst like that, make this kind of still the way people look at video games, which is immature and everything. I mean, does an outburst like this really help? I mean, it seems like, as a lot of people said on Twitter, this actually hurts the professionalism of what they were doing.
Yeah, it certainly hurts the professionalism, heavily.
It does, but I feel like we have to we do have to define ourselves. I feel like I personally am very annoyed that video games seem to be chasing movies so much the last 10 years. They're trying to get actors to do voice acting. They're trying to get movie writers to write the cut scenes. It's like, video games are better than movies. Let's stop trying to have movie award shows. So, but that's just me personally.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
I don't want it to be like serious like the Oscars. Like,
yeah.
At the end of the day, this is fucking video games. Like, this is not supposed to be. In just my opinion, that is. That's why I don't. Every year I could go to E3, and I never go to E3. And people always ask me why I don't go to E3. Why do I go to other cons but not E3? And it's because, like, that's the most serious thing, in video games. And it's just like, it's the antithesis of everything that I hate about, like, the gaming industry, where it tries to be, super professional. Like, at the end of the day, video games is the most fun form of media, because it's the one form of media you can't interact with books, you can't interact with movies, you can't interact with music like you can with video games. And there's just such a wide appeal. Like, I don't know, like, I don't like serious video game events. It's like, at the end of the day, I understand you want to progress the medium into the spotlight, but fuck, how big is the video game industry? How much money does the video game industry make? Like, it doesn't need to be propelled to the suit and tie affair. It doesn't need to be that. It's always been there, and it always will be there, pending a massive crash like in the 80s. But I mean, I think we're so far beyond that. It's just like, I don't know. It feels like you're trying to make it something it's not,
Yeah.
Like,
it doesn't need to be. That's the key. Is like, this is a multi-billion-dollar industry. We're making such crazy money. It's weird that we're like looking at our little brother and being like, gee, I sure hope someday I can grow up to be these crappy movies.
Yeah, but it's kind of what Jeff's trying to go for here. And there's a couple things they could have done differently in the award show that probably would have really stopped this whole thing from happening in the first place. The first thing I think Jeff should be doing, he shouldn't be the main host, like, out there. He should be in the back helping run stuff and maybe doing interviews in the back, like maybe at like a 2 couch setup or something, or a 2 chair setup or something. He should be back there doing that, where it's more controlled, and that way he can be checking on things in the back. And what you do is you hire somebody who's good in front of the camera, right? Who's has a lot of charisma in front of the camera. You could, I mean, honestly, you can go with The Rock. It doesn't matter. Just go with somebody who knows what they're doing in front of the camera, and then you don't have the awkward moments that come with Jeff Keighley out there when he interacts with people. And you have to act, like when he was talking to Reggie, it was very clear that Reggie was used to being in front of the camera and almost acting at times, whereas Jeff kind of had this, I don't know, he didn't seem like he was at Reggie's level when it came to being on camera. Like where they did the whole thing, like, do you think I came here with one announcement? And he had the face and everything looking at Jeff, and Jeff's just kind of laughing. I feel like if you get somebody who's used to being an actor or used to being on camera, even if they don't like games, their job is to basically announce, do segues, make jokes, much like they do with the Oscars. The person who makes the Oscars doesn't like do all the announcements or anything. They're backstage working with everybody. So yeah. I think that would really help, I think, the whole situations if Jeff was more in the background and then doing interviews in the back. Like you said, Max, they would be able to do more interviews if somebody like Jeff was in the back and they just cut to him after they set up.
Yes, which is I feel like that's the most important thing. Is I feel like we get behind the scenes DVD commentary with movies. You get all sorts of like postscript stuff when it comes to books. Video games are still mysterious. I would like if we have an award show where the person wins the Persona 5 RPG of the year, and then they go to the winners lounge and they get to sit down and have a 10-minute talk and literally be like, what was the hardest part of this? At any point while you were making Persona 5, did you question if this would be the best RPG of the year? Like, let's talk to them about it, but they just don't.
There you go. Kevin Pereira could be a fine host, and he probably wouldn't cost a lot of money. Not that he's not worth a lot, but like someone like The Rock is going to be like, I want millions, whereas somebody like Kevin Pereira is going to be like, couple thousand.
They need to shorten the damn show too.
Yeah, it should have been a 2-hour show.
So bad. 3 hours, and you could tell they were padding it. Like, come on, 3 hours, come on.
Yeah, I think they needed it to be 3 hours because of the ads. I think that's the big thing. They worked it out. They're like, this is how much this massive auditorium costs. This is how much all these expenses, the payroll and everything. This is how much we need to make. How many ads does that come out to? And it's like, okay, that's what we're gonna do. And then they have, of course, the eBay deals and sponsorships, everything. They needed to bring in money. I think you might be right, Max, when you were in your video saying that it's become too big and maybe they should shrink it a little bit.
Yeah.
Even if it was a smaller place to be,
Yeah, that place was giant. Just off the top of my head, as somebody who's had to deal with a little bit with like property management stuff, they probably paid $3 million for just to rent that out for the week it takes to set that up. But it's like $3 million for a 3-hour show. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, they could have probably done something smaller. It didn't even really. I know they like to have the live audience because, of course, he's mirrored this so much after the Oscars. This could have been something like, I think you said this as well, Max, that they recorded ahead of time. Yes. And then they just stream it. Like, this could have been something very controlled, very set up. You wouldn't have everything live. Yeah. And I don't know. Maybe they like it live and they like to put on a show, but I do think it's easier to do.
I think it's getting to the point where the people in the crowd don't even like the fact that it's live. Like, everybody, it's such a funny gif now. They cut to James Willems of Funhouse when they literally mumbled the most anticipated game of 2018 is Last of Us 2.
I know. I saw it.
And they cut to a crowd shot to be like, look how impressed people are. And you literally saw James Willems from Funhouse be like he was about to clap and then he chickened out. Like, wait, that wasn't even an announcement. Like, you see him be like, and it's just like, yeah, people in the crowd at this point would be like, why did I even put a shirt on for this? Are you kidding?
And then they show a 5-minute trailer for Death Stranding and everything. And I think Jeff also needs to work on his friendship thing with Kojima right now as well.
They need to take that behind closed doors. Like, do what you want, but like.
Well, they seem to let that really take over everything as well, and that's fine. You got Death Stranding. People want to see Death Stranding, but I don't know. It just seems like almost favorable towards it. Like, it seems like they cut out a nice section of the show just for him. I mean, yeah, a lot of people want to see it, which is fine, but it seems like he did that last year too, which is fine. But I don't know. It seems a little odd. But overall, I thought it was okay. Hopefully, he continues to improve it. I don't want it to go away because it's cool to have one, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. It'll be back next year. I think they actually made money, so it'll be back next year. Do you guys want to talk about one of our favorite games, guys, Battlefront 2?
Yes. Huzzah. Let's talk about it. Bombing.
Yeah, some MPD numbers came out for it, and it was not good. This is the month it came out, and this includes Black Friday. This includes kickoff to the holiday season and everything. So Call of Duty did well, which is odd because that also has loot boxes. In fact, I think if they tried to go the route of Battlefront 2, this entire thing could have been Call of Duty instead. They got a little lucky here. Call of Duty sold like 4.4 million copies in November. Yeah, it did well. It also helps that it went back to World War II. That actually is double the amount of Infinite Warfare. That's twice the amount.
I still stand by it. I've said this several times on camera now, and I will always repeat it. I think that this is going to be the last high-selling Call of Duty. I love Call of Duty World War II, but I do think that this is the mountain they're going to die on.
Yeah, well, they're probably going to be back at either current times or the future, I assume, next time, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's not, that won't do as well, I think.
Next is Call of Duty Avatar.
Call of Duty in space.
But now they probably have like 6 million people out there who have the game, because that MPD is just the United States, maybe 7 million. But that's a large customer base to sell loot boxes to now. So
yeah,
they'll be doing that for a while. Yeah.
They should do Call of Duty Civil War.
Well, no. Did you see they made a prototype for that? They also made I'm not even joking about this. There's an actual prototype build they made called Call of Duty Rome, and it was actually going to be like medieval warfare. It's an actual prototype they built. They like the whole first level is made, and it's really placeholder. But they walk up, and there's an NPC to talk, and they made it. And apparently, the executives came down and was like, "No, delete this filth. What are you doing with our time?"
And then, so Battlefront 2, we just heard 4.4 million. Analysts at least gave them a shot with 1.8 million almost, I think is what they were expecting in the MPDs. So they were expecting it to do less than Call of Duty by about 500,000 because no one was expecting 4.4 million. Battlefront 2 turns in 882,000 units. It didn't even get 1 million units in the United States physically.
Jesus.
Very far down. The original Battlefront, this is 2015 Battlefront, sold with bundles, by the way, 2.1 million units in its debut month. So it's down almost 60%. Yeah.
That's, God dang. Like I'm glad it bombed. That game deserved a bomb. That's crazy though. Like y'all have to understand that is those numbers are so bad it's going to influence the market. So like people are going to realize like, okay, if you're putting loot crates in there, you got to do it right or you are fucked.
Yep. And then here, so that it goes a little further from that, they told in this case their investors that none of this would affect things. This was around when it was launching. None of this would affect things, and they told them that they probably will hit their 14 million predicted units sold. by the end of March.
It's sad to me. I mean, it's sad to me that they were that delusional. I mean, let's face it, the fact that these people are just so rich and so powerful and they exist in such a vacuum, they just don't even care. They're literally like, well, let's just get a decent game and just break it for money. It's like, man.
Yeah. It was pretty clear where their thought process was there. But it's kind of cool to see this though. What's that? Go, Sean.
I think it's a good thing, honestly, because somebody's ass is going to get fired, and there's going to have to be some sort of shakeup.
Yeah,
EA might get fired.
It's overall. This is a positive. Overall, I'm still just in shock because this is great news. This is fantastic news. They deserve to be smashed upon the rocks, but it's just still mind blowing to me that they failed so hard. Like this is going to the history books. Yeah,
it's a big deal. Yeah, it's a massive fall. I mean, they sold over 14 million units, 15 million units, I think, of the original Battlefront, 2015 Battlefront. They're not going to come anywhere near that for this Battlefront. So there's always that chance. And here's the other thought I had going forward. They need to at least get downloads because they can pretend like downloads are sales. And then, of course, if they put it into more people's hands and they do bring back microtransactions, they can do things like, oh, we made this much revenue and not even say anything about how many units they sold. Do you think we get a massive price cut even down to like $19.99 and then microtransactions come back? No. Or do you think they even go free to play?
No, I mean, the word of mouth is so bad. I was listening to some interview, and it was like these two actors talking. I can't remember who it was. I think one of them was James Franco, and they were talking, and one of them mentioned, like, oh, I'm a big Star Wars fan. And someone said, are you going to get Battlefront 2? And he goes, no. The internet keeps telling me that it's trash, so I'm going to avoid it. Like, if you can't get a millionaire to buy your game, like, clearly everybody knows it's not worth buying.
Oh, man. So it's not good. This is pretty bad. I don't really know where they go from here or what they do other than, I mean, they got to try to sell this thing. Even if they keep saying, here's the real problem. Nobody trusts EA at all. So even if they keep saying we're never going to bring microtransactions back, even if we look back, 2 years from now and we go, wow, they never brought back microtransactions. Right now, all we can all think about is when are they going to bring back microtransactions and break their words? Because all we look at EA as the hardest company in the world to trust right now. Like, I think people trust cigarette companies more than they trust EA.
I do, for sure.
We just caught them in another lie early last week because remember they had an official statement saying we couldn't put in cosmetic loot crates because that would actually break the lore. We wanted to stay as true to Star Wars. And then somebody accidentally bugged into the menus and found out that there was a whole cosmetic tab that was just coded out at the last minute. It's like, you just lied again.
They can't stop like betraying their fan base. It's like a talent, it's insane. It's like what do the star cards level up to? Max?
Up to golds and purples and all. Yeah, epics.
They literally have like gold and like epics of like, distrust and everything towards their fan base.
Yeah, and unfortunately they can't unequip them.
Yeah. Oh man, it's bad right now. Like it's really bad. I don't really know what they can do. I think they're just in trouble. Like they're to that point, because I'm gonna say, guys, now they would have left loot boxes in there if Disney said nothing to them, because they would have weathered the storm and then they would have hoped that people would have bought microtransactions, so they could have come to the table next March and said, well, look how much money we made. Don't worry about how many we sold. Look at all the money, because they would have made money from those microtransactions. So I think that last minute tap on the shoulder by Disney really hurt them. Really hurt them.
You know what's funny is I 100% predicted that this would work. I 100% thought that people were still going to buy it. I thought as annoying as those microtransactions were, even while I was working on my review, I 100% thought people are still going to buy this trash. But I didn't expect it to be this implosion. I didn't expect every Star Wars fan to actually boycott it. I 100% thought people would still jump on board. So I'm really impressed. It's cool to see everybody come together against this.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing everyone thought. They're like, well, look at the MPD numbers or the sales. It'll do fine. It bombs in the UK, it bombs in Japan, and then it bombs the United States. So there you go. Gamers actually made a change for once. There you go. Hopefully this is just a lesson for companies. EA will survive this, but hopefully people, like companies, look at this and go, maybe we don't do this with our games. At least to that extent, because UFC 3 is doing the same thing right now, and I don't think people are going to buy much into it. So
and right now it just this week we had it implemented with Destiny 2. Articles are being written about it right now. So yeah,
I saw that. That's where they're hiring for somebody to do that, right?
Yes, it's basically the best loot in the game now can come from loot boxes that can be bought from the Eververse. So literally, if you don't want to raid, it's literally possible to just buy the best guns now.
Yeah, it's really weird that these companies almost just don't hear what's going on or see what's going on around them, almost setting themselves up to get basically hated.
Yeah,
especially to see how far Bungie has fallen. Like, we loved Bungie back in the Halo days.
Yeah, I read every Halo book, Halo comic, watched the Halo movies, and the Halo anime.
It was awesome. Man, I don't know. Geez, did you guys see we also had some very interesting. So a lot of people have been looking for the MPDs for November for the consoles. From what I've been seeing, people are wondering, who won Black Friday, who won like November, where did everybody place? And there are some leaked information out there that tells us kind of where all the consoles place for November. Now, it's interesting to note that apparently November is going to grow massively from last year. Apparently, all the consoles, all the systems did really well. I mean, keep in mind, we're also comparing the Switch to the Wii U last year, which was the Wii U barely sold anything, right? Like barely. So they all did really well. Even last place, I think, sold nearly 1 million units in November in just United States. That's a lot. In just one place. So it goes from order. PlayStation was number 1, Xbox was number 2, and then Nintendo was number 3. That's how it went. And from what we're seeing, a lot of this has to do with the massive discounts that Sony and Microsoft put on their systems. I mean, how do you beat a PlayStation that's $200 and GameStop gives you a $50 gift card?
Yeah.
How do you beat that, right? You can't.
We all look at there was all those videos and stuff of there were literally Best Buys right next to the door, right next to the register. They just had a stack of about 250 PS4s laying down flat, and people were just walking in lines, picking them up and ringing them up. So it's just like that's sold, man. That was the holiday gift.
Yep. And then you're going to see the Xbox as the X came out. Apparently the Xbox One X actually did pretty well in the United States. But of course, the Xbox One S was $190 everywhere. Like, the systems are so cheap. I think people are buying systems just to have another one almost. Like, I feel like people are buying the PS4s who already had a PS4. So it's kind of funny to see that. But I mean, if it's like, I actually sat here for a minute and was like, should I go get an Xbox One? I mean, a PlayStation 4 Slim. I have a PS4 Pro. Should I just go get one? Because it's $150 technically. So, and the Switch didn't drop any prices. None. It was $300. But it still sold almost 1 million, I believe. This is what people are saying. But we don't know the actual numbers. It sounds like the PlayStation and the Xbox were actually within 100,000 or so units of each other. So it was pretty close. But it sounds like games were up heavily from last November, like a lot. Like we're talking like seriously like 30 to 40% up from last year or something crazy. We'll get actual information in terms of percentages. We don't really know where games placed. I will say this: there is a chance that Mario Odyssey outsold Battlefront.
Jesus,
there is a chance. I think that might actually be the case. So we're gonna wait and see that. We're gonna see that probably the 15th of December, I believe. So in 6 days, we'll see that. But what do you guys think about those rankings?
Not shocked. I'm just freaking impressed that they are all so high. Like, it's crazy that last place is 1 million units in a month. That's just, and especially the fact that the Switch is $300. That means that Nintendo got $300 million in a month. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, it's crazy, I think. And we see what they're doing in Japan. Japan is massive for Nintendo right now. Like, there's no chance that anyone would do that well in Japan other than Nintendo, I guess, at this point. Like, I think they crossed 2.5 million actually recently in Japan, and that's huge because that's actually coming up on PS4's half of PS4's lifetime sales already in the first 9 months. Yeah, but I mean, what do you think about the PS4 and the Xbox? I mean, it's almost expected, right? With some of those some of those deals were ridiculous. Like,
yeah, well, yeah, almost
cheap as hell.
Yeah, it's so cheap for those systems now. It's crazy considering the Xbox was $500 when it came out, and a couple years later, it's $190 for what is a better system with the S.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and so many people that I know, we're finally in that like third wave of gaming this generation, where now we had all the people who really, really loved to jump on gaming, and they all bought the Xbox One and PS4 as soon as they came out. And then 2 years in, you had all the people who were like, all right, it's price dropped. Been wanting to try out Metal Gear Solid 5, even though RGT hates Hideo Kojima. So we're going to go ahead and buy that. So now we're third wave, and it's like casual gamers are finally buying it. And at $200, even casual gamers will buy a console.
Oh yeah, no, you have a lot of people who wouldn't have normally bought a PS. I mean, honestly, the Xbox One S at $190 is probably one of the best 4K Blu-ray players you can buy right now for that price. So no reason not to have bought one on Black Friday with how cheap it was. I mean, $200 with a $50 gift card. Basically, you could get Persona, probably used at GameStop, and the PS4 for $200. Like, that's ridiculous. Or Horizon Zero Dawn, because that was like probably, I think that was $20 on Black Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
people in chat are insisting that Horizon Zero Dawn is a boring mess, but I promise you, it's definitely worth $20.
Yeah, no, Horizon Zero Dawn's worth the $60. You just get a lot of people who just want to hate Horizon Zero Dawn for I don't know why people don't like that game.
It's just because it was competition to Zelda for a week 9 months ago.
I guess that's the case. I mean, for a while there, you had people who really were big Zelda fans who didn't like Horizon Zero Dawn just because it was a competitor to Zelda. I guess I don't know. I guess. That's a bad reason not to like a game. Just because one other game is there that you like. I don't know. It's worth a buy. I think it is.
Did you see the super chat question about?
I have a couple super chat questions here actually too. Here's one from. I said I'd read them when we got a nice.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I just saw that one. So I wasn't sure if they disappeared.
No, you're fine. Here's I actually have them saved. I actually have them on my other screen. So if you did do a super chat, I got it here. Leo actually asked about Brawlout for the Switch on December 19th. Evan, we actually played Brawlout.
Yep.
In a video. There is a video, Leo, if you want to check out how it looks on the PC. I don't know. I mean, I guess it'll be the same idea. That was kind of an earlier build I think we played, Evan. But Brawlout on the Switch Brawlout was interesting. It didn't feel quite the same as Smash Bros, even though it looks very similar. It felt slower.
Yeah, it was definitely missing some speed and some refinement, and I definitely was missing at the time the character selection, although I thought they added a couple more.
All you need is Hyper Light Drifter, man. Come on. That's all you need. That guy was a beast in that game. They added somebody. Who did they add recently? That was actually pretty cool when I saw it. I was like, the person from Guacamelee. Oh. Yeah, they added the luchador, which is kind of cool. But I will say this: there's no game like Smash Bros out there right now on the Switch, I guess. So if you're really looking for something that's like Smash Bros, well, you got Brawlout. That's kind of it. There's not much else you can do about it. That's the game. But I think it's $20. I don't think it's $19.99. So it's not like it's a $6 game or anything. If you're just looking for a game, you got to play with a bunch of people. I don't know the online aspects. I don't know if it has online. I'd like it to, but although at this point you can't even trust websites according to Sean from what he's seen. So don't even trust those sites, man. Because apparently it's crazy. They can just add it in a patch later. I don't know. I don't like that, Sean. That's not good.
No, it's not. It's terrible.
800 likes. There's only 899 people in here, guys. You can't get the 800 likes. It's not impossible. Philip is at IGN now. He actually will probably come back at some point, though. Don't worry. He'll be back. Philip runs NVC now. He's the Nintendo editor at IGN. So yes, that's where he is. Yes.
Yeah, he's got things to sort out before he can swing back through here.
I was going to say all their Nintendo reviews are actually very entertaining to watch. Finally, no offense to IGN, but they're actually good now.
Philip does a good job with some of his reviews, man.
Yeah. Well, he really churns them out. It's crazy the amount. Like now that he has an editor and stuff, it's very much of just him beats the game, writes a script, goes into a sound booth, beats the next game.
Yeah, that sounds actually like a pretty sweet deal. Okay, the other question was thoughts on the Monster Hunter World single player. Cool, bad, hyped. Max, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, so the single player is actually interesting. So in the beta, you could only do a limited portion of what the full single player will be. In the full single player, you'll actually be able to capture and dominate weaker monsters and actually have them fill up your party. Right now, you basically just have this cat minion. The cat minion dude is actually pretty strong, though. So basically, you end up going up and fighting whatever monster, and then while you're distracting it, your little cat monster will actually do extra stun attacks and stuff. So it's playable solo. It's definitely intended for multiplayer, though, in my opinion.
I didn't play multiplayer. I just did some single player stuff on it. But I hope that they clean up the visuals a little bit. I don't know. The visuals didn't really impress me too much on the PS4 Pro. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure the art style is kind of holding it back a little bit, but I look at it and I go, okay, it seems very average. Like nothing really stands out to me and goes, whoa, that's really cool looking.
I thought it was super beautiful. My problem is that right now these two maps they're so tiny, and it's annoying that like you see all these beautiful sweeping vistas and stuff, and then all of a sudden you notice when you look at your little mini map, it's like, oh, that's an invisible wall. Like it's this cool waterfall that looks like you're supposed to walk off it. Nope, not at all. Invisible wall.
I mean, like I looked at my character and I just didn't see like my characters didn't look like amazing or anything. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Like the character models didn't like floor me or anything. The scenery was pretty cool. You're right, but like I looked at my characters like,
Well, it's definitely one of those games that has the drawback of the fact that there's like 500 sets of armor, and so each one they definitely have to program to be all these little feathers and doodads, and this has to have a metal grate around your mouth that makes you look like Mad Max, and so because of it, each one is going to be lower quality because it is just such a plethora.
I did turn it on with the PS4 Pro, and it asks you, do you want to do resolution, graphics, or frame rate? Which one do you want to prioritize? I liked that a lot because I did frame rate. It held a pretty solid frame rate the whole time, like with the PS4 Pro. And then I did the others, and it did chug a little bit, but I mean, I think the resolution one is actually shooting for 4K, so...
Yeah, whereas when I played it, no problems at all. I just played it on a normal PS4 Slim, no problems, but I think it was just running at a steady 30 frames a second, which I'm totally fine with. I played every hunt like 5 times, and during all those hours, no issues, no problems. There were some server issues, but I think it's just because it was hour 1 of a beta.
Yeah, you can't pause that game even in single player, can you?
Nope, not at all.
And interesting. I noticed that. I was like, whoa, that's it. I mean, I guess because it's set up kind of like an MMO, so why would you? But like, I went to pause and I was like, I can't pause this.
That's also one of those games though where weird enough, you can actually run around and do stuff while it's like you press pause and your D-pad is actually for your menu. So sometimes you're in a huge hurry, you'll have to like literally craft a potion in the middle of a fight. It's really suspenseful. I like it.
So let's talk about. Sean's jumping up as we're about to talk about Mega Man.
I was gonna grab a drink. I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Okay. He's getting some Diet Dr. Pepper watch. He's gonna come back, and I'm gonna ask him what he got, and it's Diet Dr. Pepper watch. It's gonna happen.
Deadpool Derpachu.
I saw that before you spoke about Deadpool Pikachu. Ryan Reynolds is going to be the voice of Detective Pikachu, apparently.
Yeah, it's
I don't know how that's gonna work out. I think he can do it. I don't really know a lot about the Detective Pikachu stuff.
I looked into it a little bit. I mean, he talks. He's a fully voiced character, but he's supposed to still sound cutesy from what I heard. He's still supposed to sound like Pikachu, I thought. So it's weird to think of Ryan Reynolds getting close to the mic and be like, let me see if those panties are on you. Like, what was that, Pikachu? I'm investigating. I'm looking for clues.
It's gonna be Deadpool basically voicing. I mean, that's what a lot of people are gonna think of. Oh, look, Deadpool Pikachu. Oh man. What do you got to drink, Sean? Diet Dutch Pepper, yeah. You probably heard me anyway.
It's good.
So, Mega Man is everywhere right now.
Mm-hmm.
We had the Monday. We had the presser, Mega Man 30th anniversary.
Woo!
And it was Mega Man. A lot of people were concerned that nothing was going to happen, myself included, because it's Capcom. So why would they actually do something cool?
I mean, it's still Capcom, so here's hoping it comes out.
Yeah. So here's what's happening. We know a couple things. Mega Man. Yeah, I know, right? So I should become a fortune teller. I actually talked a bit about the X series coming to consoles, and I talked a little bit about another Mega Man game. But anyway, Mega Man Legacy Collection 1 and 2 going to the Switch next year at some point. We don't know when, but it's showing up. All of them essentially re-imported over. They talked about how the Switch showed up in the middle of their development. And that's why they couldn't bring them to the Switch right away. Makes sense, sure. But then we find out that the X series, all of them actually, up through the PS2 versions, X8 and X7, are going to all systems, PS4, Xbox One, PC, I believe. So it's going to hit PC, and then the Switch. No word on how this is going to happen. Is it going to be each one individually? Is it going to be one big package? Or are they going to split it up like they did the Legacy Collection, where you have the X Collection 1 and the X Collection 2?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where we're sitting right now. How is this going to be set up? Do you guys want to try to take a guess at how they're going to do this?
I think they'll probably break it down of like I think they'll probably do something weird of like all the 2D ones and the 3D ones as a separate collection.
You think they'll do like the PS1 and the PS2 versions? Well, no, they can't do that because the Super Nintendo only has 3 of them.
Yeah,
I don't know. Do you think they'd put X7 and X8 on its own? Game,
they could be digital. I am the way I picture it in my head, just because they do their business weird. I feel like it's probably going to be the first collection, giant air quotes. The Mega Man X collection will be like 1 through 5, and then they'll sell 7 and 8 digitally, and then later on they'll come out with a complete X collection, and it's all 8 on 1. Do
you guys think it's weird that they did not include in any way, and maybe no Legacy Collection, and just drop like someone was saying in chat, Mega Man Legends 1 and 2 in like a compilation?
I would love it. Oh, I would love it. And throw in Misadventures of Tron Bon.
Yeah, that right there, 3 games would fit fine in a little compilation.
The Tron trilogy.
Yeah, that's interesting. So we have what do you think, Sean? Where do you think this is going to go with the X games?
They're going to do something stupid with it.
Exactly.
Like, it's exciting. I'm glad that they're doing it, but they're going to do something stupid with it. I mean, it's just what they do. Like, they don't know any better.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. It's Capcom, you know, that's why we say it's Capcom being Capcom, because they can't get out of their own way sometimes.
Right.
Yeah, like they make it way more difficult. I think they took the Legacy Collection and they built it in Unity, so you need like DirectX 11 and everything, so it doesn't work on like some of the older hardware that could run it. It's so weird. My biggest hope is that they say, you know what, throw it all on one game and just put X1 through X8. I would honestly, for that, I would seriously consider $60 for that.
Yeah, same, 100%.
You know, yeah. I would be like, okay, that's 8 games, $60. That's less than $10 a game. And I didn't really play a lot of X8 or X7, so I would love to go back and play some more of those. Just I know X7 wasn't very good.
Yeah,
I heard X8 was okay.
I do not know. You should watch. Pro Jared did a great video of it.
I saw that on X7, right? He didn't do X8 though. I thought he just did X7, right?
I thought he did X8 as well, but they're so funny.
I remember seeing that the X7 one. I like that one a lot. He makes good videos. But I don't know how they're going to approach this. I mean, here's the other question. This is the other big question here. Think about the Switch, right? What is the biggest concern about any of these publishers right now with the Switch when it comes to cartridge and physical releases? It seems to be if they eclipse that 8 GB mark, because then they apparently have to pay more money for these cartridges. Are they going to be able to? I don't even know if they'd be able to fit X8, X7, and then all the way back to the original X onto one cartridge for the Switch. Would they make us down? Would they make us download X8?
I don't know. I think that those would fit with modern compression, especially because, I mean, 1 through 5 are so tiny now. I mean, they're literally megabytes.
Yeah, I mean, what's X4? X4 is probably like 150 megabytes, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, they fit on 700 megabyte discs. I'm more concerned about X7 and X8. What if those are like 3 or 4 gigs?
No, X8 is only 186. I mean,
really?
862. Sorry.
On the PS, 860 on the PS2. Yeah. Okay. So that'd be fine. They'd be able to fit that then.
Yeah.
So I was curious about how they would be able to do that. But I guess that's the case to be able to fit it on a 8 gigabyte card. But then that's the question: do they fit it all on? They fit it all. Also, do they rebuild it? You know, do they turn it into? Because I mean, isn't the Legacy Collection still a semi larger download than it should be?
Of course it is, because these developers are lazy.
So if are they going to rebuild it in like higher resolution assets or smooth it all out and everything?
I would hope so, but knowing Capcom, I think it's just going to be a sloppy, like upscaled filter.
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, I'm really excited for the X collection to show up if it is a collection or if they're individual, because then I don't have to buy some of the ones I don't like. Although I do like most of the X versions. I don't like X6 I didn't like that much. X5 was pretty cool. That had like the purple lights purple saber from Zero. And I think I had the ninja armor too, where you could stick to the walls and the ceilings.
Did you ever do the thing where you get every single unlockable, every single collectible in the original X, and then you like jump you like ride that mine cart and the fire level, and you can actually get the Hadoken, and you can
in the second one you can get the Shoryuken.
That's so good. And one shots like every boss in the game, including Stigma.
In the third one you can actually get Zero Saber.
Oh yeah. I've seen screenshots. I've never been able to do it myself.
Really? I did that every time.
Before. For some reason, X3 kicks my ass. I don't know why. The rest of the X games I'm fine. I don't know why. Specifically X3, I just cannot beat.
It's super easy too. From what you got to do, you got to keep Zero until you get to a certain part at the end, and then what you do is it's the stupidest boss fight. You walk in and Zero gets like basically killed by this tiny little guy, and then he gives X his saber, and basically he throws it, but it always does. If you hit a boss with it, it takes away half their life. So it's like a 2-shot for any boss. And then if you get further in, you can get the gold armor. The gold armor is one of the last Wily stages, essentially, Sigma stages. You actually slide down as long as you have everything else and your E-tanks are all full. You'll fall through a wall. You'll get the gold armor. And instead of, do you remember playing X3 at all where you would get one enhancement? So if you want to get a better chest enhancements, or if you want to get a better arm enhancement, you can only pick one. Do you remember any of that?
Yeah.
The gold armor gives you everything.
Yeah, of course.
It was awesome.
I kind of like that about especially classic Capcom stuff, is that it was like, here's all these incremental upgrades. And at the very end, they're like, you want to be God, bro? It's God time.
Dude, it was because then they give you that part where you fight all the bosses again.
Yep, the boss.
And you're just like, dude, I got the saber, I got the gold armor, let's do this. And it was awesome. It was so cool. But
how did they release this game?
What's that?
How did they release this game?
Are you playing games on the podcast right now?
I had to try out WWE.
All right, did you here's what you want to do, Sean. Load up a 6-man Hell in a Cell match.
Oh no, Wood told me he did an elimination chamber and it didn't even run. I just did a fatal 4-way, and it's like press button. Severe.
Start the Royal Rumble and start to laugh. Because whenever a person comes in, or they put them up on the screen and it's time for them to get in, it freezes for about 5 to 6 seconds.
How did they do? Why would you release this?
Dude, you watched my video, didn't you? Where I was like, what is happening?
Yes, but like, why?
It's because they need it, dude. They can't sell a 2K18 game in 2018. They need it for this Christmas.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's bad. That's the corporate world we live in for video games, man.
This is bad, dude.
Put it out, fix it later. That's all it is. And I mean, Walmart had a rollback day one. That's got to tell us something, right?
Yeah. Somebody was tweeting that in Britain they've already put on stores they're like half price already, being like, "Oh, check out this discount copy we got." Like, oh,
yeah.
This is just terrible.
It's who made it? Blind Squirrel, I think, made it. Is that right? Or they ported it. They're going to be putting out. They've already announced they're going to be putting out patches and whatnot. But
no shit, they're gonna put out patches.
Should have just outright said, "No, we're done with it. Good luck,
dude." It's bad. It's so bad. Like the frame rate is. It's actually an unplayable game. Like it's unplayable. I think when I was playing it with 6-man, I think it was running at like 10 frames a second.
Sean, can you do me a favor? When you do your review, can you like get like a fake crash test dummy and look like you're about to like slam it through a table, and then it looks like it's glitching out, and the frame rate of you hitting the table is fucked up? That'd be my dreams.
I've actually got the only reason. The thing of it is, I would have skipped this game, but I got a really good cameo for my review of it, so it was like I had to get it.
He's got to do it.
Yeah, got to do it.
Gotta do it for the footage.
Yeah, he has to, man. He's stuck. He has to. He's got to give this game a 2 out of 10 and like it.
Oh, it's a god. It's just gonna.
IGN gave it a 3. I saw that.
How did they give it a 3? It's not deserving of a 3.
I guess because technically it's like SATs, right? Where if you write your name on the test, you get points. Yeah. In this case, I guess if it starts up and you can go through a menu without crashing, you get points. Is the way this works. It is bad though. Nobody out there buy WWE 2K18 on the Switch. Barely buy it on the other systems because it barely works on the other systems too. But at least the frame rate doesn't crash like it does on the Switch. So there's that. Terrible copy of the game. It's amazing because they actually did an okay version of NBA.
NBA was good.
Yeah,
it was real good.
Yep.
This is good.
I told you not to buy it.
I had to.
I know you're so stuck. And the problem is you knew it was bad after I started tweeting out. You're like, oh no, I'm about to spend $60 on this thing because Walmart didn't even care. They didn't put it. I sent you that picture, dude. Walmart had it. I walked in. I was like,
yeah. So
what?
I went to Walmart. I canceled my freaking pre-order online because I just happened to go on Walmart's website and they were like, available in store today at your Walmart. And I was like, hey, great. I'll just go pick it up for $40 at Walmart. So I canceled my pre-order. I got off work. I went to Walmart, and I hate going to Walmart. I had not been to Walmart in over 5 years. I didn't even know where anything was. They rearranged the whole store, and I was just like, all right, I'm just going to get in, get my game, get out of here. There was 1,000 people in the parking lot. There was 1 million people all over the place, and I was just like, get me in the game, get me out of here. Walk over to this video game section, no WWE 2K18. I'm like, where is the game? It says you have the game on your website. Oh, that information must not be accurate. I was like, well, you need to make it accurate then, because I drove 30 minutes, even though I drove 5 minutes. I drove 30 minutes down here to get this game.
You're the problem customer. You're that problem customer. It's like, I need to speak to your manager.
Yes.
Where's Blind? Get Blind Squirrel in here right now.
It's like, move. I understand you're fat, Samoa Joe, but I'm hitting the stick. Move.
Tell you what, if Blind Squirrel, if you're watching right now, you can feel free to come on the SpawnCast and talk to us about it.
Blind Squirrel, I have some questions for you, buddy.
Hard questions.
Dude, they're on Twitter. They actually will they'll actually talk to people and stuff on there.
Oh,
I know somebody sent them my video too, because I saw people talking about it.
Oh, they're about to get it.
Yeah, apparently they just said keep an eye on WWE's main I guess Twitter and website for this because they're going to update it. But I don't know how you fix it. It's it seems broken as it is. I don't know. Are they just going to randomly put a patch out and all of a sudden it's magically going to run at 30, 40 frames? I don't think so.
It'd be amazing. The mystical patch that makes magic happen.
Did you watch the entrances, Sean?
Yes.
It's hilarious because they're in slow motion. It's amazing, dude. It's so good. It's I watched it. I was like, what is going on right now? The N64 had better frame rates than this. Look at that Wood in the chat right now. You in the chat?
I sent him a nice tweet.
Okay. I'm sure it was very nice of you.
It's just your middle finger on the screen.
And I said, quote, what the fuck is this bullshit ass WWE 2K18 on the Switch? This is literally unplayable. Good Lord.
See, this is actually why I'm impressed that you get so many review copies, because I try and be pretty respectful. When I'm mean to a game, it's because it's absolute trash. But it's funny that you're like, hey, developer, this shirt's coming off, and you're not going to like what you see.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, man. gosh. I don't think we only have like 18 minutes left, guys. I don't think we'll get anywhere near 800 likes. It's just not possible. So I wouldn't even bother hitting that like button. Anything else you guys want to talk about this week? Anything else? Anything else? Oh, look at that. Wood wants to jump in here. Hold on.
Hold on. 15 minutes.
Let me get Mr. 100K in here. Probably 112K by now, actually.
Yeah, he's at like 113K.
Oh gosh.
He gets like 1,000 subs a day. I'm like, what the hell?
It's got to be the hair. All right. I sent him a link. At least I hope I sent him a link. I opened my direct messages and just clicked the button and hit copy paste. So hopefully that was him.
It's gonna be some random person like, "Hello, this is Daryl." There he is.
Zian. He's up, maybe.
He's here. I see him. He's here for 17 minutes.
Hi.
He's in.
Hello.
I couldn't join earlier. I just got home recently.
It's cool, man. We were just talking about the legit optimization of WWE.
I had to jump in at that point. I was listening and it was killing me. I couldn't. It's so bad.
It's so bad.
It's the worst experience I've had with the game on launch. I think just so bad.
I feel like we should have seen this coming though from the build up, right?
Oh, absolutely. I knew it was going to be bad in some sense. Every time a game, in general, but every time so far a game on the Switch has been delayed and it's come out whenever, especially as unexpectedly as this was. On the 4th of December, we heard in 2 days this game will be coming out. I was like, oh no. And
didn't somebody have it before it even came out? Didn't somebody find a picture of a retail copy before they had the release date? Just
somebody had it. It was in Walmart for a little bit because that's what they do now. As Spawn said, they put the game out, they send them out to meet the deadline, and then they're like, well, we'll just fix it. We'll fix it while it's being shipped. And then obviously 2K18 can't be released in 18. So they were like, well, this is what it is. You got 2 weeks before Christmas, put it out.
You spent $60 on it too?
I drove around to 4 different Walmarts last night and got it for 40.
Okay, so that means they only got $160 out of this podcast.
Yeah, I'm selling it though.
Wouldn't it be interesting if they did a patch now, for this week before the physical version allegedly comes out?
You know what's gonna be great is if they put a patch out and it's 24 gigabytes and it's just an entirely different game.
It overwrites your save file. Here's 2K17 optimized.
Oh, that's the other part. Did you guys realize that it needs a gigabyte of your internal storage?
It took me 4.5 hours to download whatever the heck it downloaded.
God. If you do end up selling it, I was gonna say if you do end up selling it, Wood, just sell it to me. I'll buy it just for the lulz.
Okay, just name the price.
Leo, Brawlout's worth $20, I think, if you're looking for a Smash Bros. Type game. I would say so. And then I think they were asking Wood what you think of Bayonetta 3. Are you excited for Bayonetta 3? I think Leo was asking about Brawlout. I do think it's worth buying for $20 just because it's a fun game for $20. But Bayonetta 3, I think because we all kind of talked about it. What your thought was on Bayonetta 3?
Oh, I'm super excited. I love Bayonetta.
Well, you told me you were like a Devil May Cry person, right? Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, one of my favorite games of all time. So I love Bayonetta. The first one was amazing. It took me a little bit to play the second one, but I love that one just as much, if not more. So yeah, the third one's definitely going to be a good.
I'm looking at the community creations wrestlers, and there's one called Unplayable Garbage.
All right, that's good. That's funny. I mean, how many? Because you can't get a refund like we talked about. Even at Walmart, if you open it, there's you opened it.
Yeah, once you open it, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Sean, please take a picture of the screen and please send that to the developers and go, hey man, I found y'all's create a character.
Yeah. That's awesome. Oh man, that's such a good idea. I wish I thought of doing that on camera. Is it just like the standard call? Like they didn't do anything to it, and they just put it up there. They literally just typed that name out and dropped it on there.
It won't let me take a screenshot right now. You bastard!
Just do it with your phone. Do it ghetto style. I believe in you.
Does that game has online play now, right?
It doesn't work from what I've heard.
Oh, that's good. That's great.
I'm so proud of that game.
Oh gosh. What else did we have to? What's this? Are you able to copy and archive the required download of physical games onto the micro SD, then to a hard drive using a PC to preserve them? No. As far as we can tell, there's no way to do that yet. I'm sure people in the modding community will figure it out, but right now, I think the problem you have is that physical games, we have to download stuff to make it work, and people are worried what happens when the servers get shut off. So that even if we have like I have Resident Evil Revelations, the collection for the first one, the second one is only a download.
I hate that.
Yeah, that's what everyone's worried about. Is what happens if those servers get shut off in 15 years.
Yeah.
It's the same with like Xbox One and PS4 though. Like Dead Rising 3 for Xbox One, that the actual disc is unplayable without the update.
That's a problem.
So it's like there's a lot of games even on other systems. Like it's this generation, like because it was scary because everything was going digital. So like that was my thing at that time, and so many people's thing was, well, if it goes digital, what happens when everything gets shut down? But they were like, oh, we'll keep discs. Like Xbox was like, oh, we'll keep discs. But then the very first like exclusive launch title was Dead Rising 3, and without the update, without that digital download, you don't have the game. So it's not really any better.
Well, and some of the games just freaking flat out were a code inside of a box. Like I bought Minecraft on Vita is literally a piece of paper inside of a Vita box. Like there's a blank slot. Yes, there's a blank slot for a game. You open it up, instead of instruction booklet, it is a download code.
Well, what was the Sonic Mania collection? There was a huge statue. You paid what, like $100 for? I can't remember how much it was. And you had a code inside. Like really, you can't put you can give me a little gold ring, but you can't switch that out for an actual card.
Yeah. Guys, if you want, people are asking in the chat, if you guys want Arlo on here, just go to his Twitter and send him a message. I'm actually talking to him, but send him a.
We've been talking to him for like a year now. It's still the logistics issue.
He's a very busy. He's a very busy Muppet. We're working on it, guys. We're working on it. We got. I said the 23rd. We got Austin John Plays on, so that's another big YouTuber. Yeah, that's a whole situation, man. Gaming's becoming a mess. It's the way it is. Oh, man.
This is completely off topic, but earlier today, I actually got a guest lockdown for my podcast, and I'm so excited. And I want to say it just in case it doesn't happen. Just from a video game.
On your podcast?
On my podcast, yeah.
Oh, you don't want to say it just in case?
Yeah, just in case it falls through. I hate doing that, like building up expectations thing. But she confirmed in a Twitter DM that she's down for after the holidays, and I'm so excited. I'd like to talk to Arlo though. Arlo seems like a really cool guy.
Yeah, I've talked to him a couple times on Twitter, and he actually wants to come on. He's very busy. So we're
on that podcast.
We're working that out, guys. We're working that out. But feel free to send him a message on Twitter.
Yeah, light that fire under him, get that going.
Turn up the pressure.
Yeah, he seems like a cool dude. I'm actually very curious to talk to Austin about Pokemon some, because I don't know a lot about Pokemon. I'd like to learn about Pokemon. I need to be ready for when the Switch version comes out. Do you know a lot about Pokemon?
As in like the franchise or the Switch version?
The franchise. I got stuck after Gold and Silver. I didn't play much.
Yeah, I did Gold and Silver.
I think every iteration other than the black and white ones.
Oh, wait, actually Evan played black and white. Okay, there we go. Cool. That works out. So I have to it's going to be fun me trying to play when it comes out, because I'm going to feel like an old man trying to play Pokemon. But
I'm hoping that it's going to be a very different Pokemon. So
I think it will.
I'm hoping you'll be lost with the rest of us.
I think it will. Did you get a chance to play Monster Hunter Wood? The beta is actually out. Monster Hunter World on the PS4.
Oh, which one? Oh, no.
Yeah, check it out. If you have a PSN Plus, you can go play it now. I think it's like a 5 GB download. It's not even that big. But they have a couple missions you can run. It's pretty fun so far. We're actually enjoying it.
About that? It looks like an online. Is it like an online?
No, it's like it can be online. You can play it online. You can play it alone though. It's just like a series of short missions. It's basically like a short demo. You could beat it in about an hour, but you basically choose what weapon you want, and then you get dropped on a map, and you're supposed to kill one big monster. It's
cool.
It is, honestly, because they're hard as hell. You actually track them through the jungle. It's actually pretty dang fun.
Maybe it'll satisfy the Monster Hunter urge I had that stories didn't satisfy.
Stories was good,
but it wasn't Monster Hunter.
No. It wasn't. I'm gonna try a one-on-one match.
This is Sean. Sean Ryan asks,
matches, they're actually possible, but I'm still not.
Sean Ryan asks, do you guys know of a YouTuber, Adam Koralik?
Yes, I've screwed him over many times in life.
Yeah. Oh, he said he'd be good to have on here.
So let me tell you the story of Adam. So Adam and I and this stupid guy named Dave from D-Dave were supposed to do a panel at Too Many Games this past year, and they put the panel on Sunday. And I had told Justin Silverman that I wasn't going to be there Sunday. And so I saw Adam, and I was like, hey, Adam, I can't do the panel on Sunday. He was like, okay, well, I guess me and Dave will do it. I was like, well, Dave actually didn't show up. And so, yeah. So I screwed him there on that panel. And then we had a table together at a video game con in Jersey this past September. And I was like, he was like, why don't you do my panel and we'll do a panel together and I'll do your panel. We'll do each other's panels together. I was like, great. We have a table. We're going to have so much fun. And then my whole trip got screwed up because of the hurricane. I was like, hey, Adam, what's up, dude? I'm not coming. So I definitely owe him like beer and coffee and stuff.
I've got a fun fact. I actually inspired Adam Koralik to start YouTube. My first video I ever made was 8 years ago, and it was a really bad Dreamcast review, a Sonic Adventure review, and he watched it, and he told me this like years later, but he said, yeah, I watched it, and it was awful. And I was like, oh man, if this idiot's making stuff, I have a film degree. I'm going to go make real videos.
Oh, man.
Pretty harsh.
You're like
because my first videos, I didn't understand capture card. I literally didn't even know that term. So I actually filmed the TV screen and then just edit it with my first videos were basically like really bad Angry Video Game Nerd ripoff stuff of like, look, you know. So apparently he saw that. I was like, oh, I can do funny gameplay. I'm going to do that.
Hey, this isn't bad.
No, the one-on-one's not. It's the problem is when you get multiple sprites on there, it gets bad.
So I'm gonna play one-on-ones the whole time.
But wait for this is interesting. If you leave like the run-in feature on and somebody runs in, it slows down.
So we're turning that off.
Actually, it's pretty funny. It kept happening to me when I was playing as AJ Styles. I did it off camera. I would think I was fighting Bo Dallas, and somebody kept running in and hitting me with a special and winning. Because I do not like the pin kickouts in that game. Because you have to like time it to. I miss the days of the N64 and the PS2 and stuff where you just mashed a button over and over again.
Right.
I miss the simpler days. I think, man, that's the first time I played WWE in a while. The wrestling games. I think they've become way more complicated than they need to be.
They've also become very stale too.
See, I don't know. I haven't played him in a long time. But. I guess I really played it back on the GameCube and PS2 days, really, but it just there's like so much stuff like for like rest holds and like all this. I'm like, what is? I just want to hit this person with a chair. Like what?
And so many of these moves and animations are just recycled from like shit that I remember because I owned 16 on the PS4, but like some of these animations are like straight out of like 11. You know, SmackDown versus Raw 2011.
Yeah.
It was a good year for animations.
Did you guys see Outlast going to Switch and then a new Outlast game as well?
Hell yeah.
So it's not gonna be Outlast 3. It's gonna be a new Outlast game in the universe, but both are going to the Switch at the beginning of 2018.
Yeah, good for them.
The second one. I never played the second one. I didn't really like the first one, but I like that the second one is like a crazy church cult. I like
yeah,
like that.
Dude. Yes. I love Outlast 2, but I'll tell you that's not a popular opinion. Apparently, most people actually think Outlast 2 is much more disjointed. I think it's great.
You're a horror game person, though, right? You really like it.
I'm very much a horror game person. It is very much an interactive horror movie. It's very much like a spooky horror house. Like, oh my god, this chick's got a giant axe and whispers creepy church stuff. Oh!
So is anything else, guys, in the chat you want to talk to? But in the last couple minutes we have here. Anything I missed? Evan, any questions or anything that I missed?
Not from main chat, but let me see what we've got over here on the Discord. Let's see.
I almost want to put up the chunk of this podcast on the channel where Sean discovers how bad WWE is.
That's definitely like primary.
I told you. I'm still mad at Sean.
Honestly, though.
Because I told him to at least go and get it physical. He bought it digitally.
Because I have to do this collaboration. Honestly, I'm playing this one-on-one TLC match, and if they can get the rest of the game to have a frame rate to this, it will be passable. It'll be playable. I will be able to enjoy it because I'm having a decent time with this one-on-one TLC match.
I don't think it's gonna happen. Even the entrances are like terrible.
Let's see what we got here.
I think at that point,
Dragon's March for Death will still be releasing this year.
What? No, I don't think it is.
Yeah.
We're 22 days, 21 days almost from the end of the year. I don't, unless they announce it Monday and it's out Wednesday or something.
Yep. And then we got Dark Souls 1 remaster. Is it happening?
There is a big rumor going around. I think one of the Dark Souls games is going to Switch.
Yeah, I 100% believe that.
Yeah, it might be the first one. I don't know if the third one. I remember they said they were having an issue with Dark Souls 3 at first on the Switch, but I think the first one would do it.
Let's see. And then with Metroid Prime 4 and Bayonetta basically having similar teasers, which do you think will be the first to release on Switch?
What'd you say? What was that?
Bayonetta.
Metroid.
Like it'd be Metroid? Because I think with how Bayonetta usually plays out, I think that one's gonna be the first to come out, really. And then
I think Bayonetta will do it. Yeah, I think so. Someone's asking if I'm gonna stream the Bandai Namco. I don't know that's happening. It's just a rumor right now. But yes, I will when that happens. Yeah. And people are always welcome to join me. Max tried, but Skype eluded him that night.
The mystery of what is my password.
I'm actually surprised like 1,200 of you stayed with me during that PlayStation experience stream because it got pretty boring. It got very boring. But we did get Medieval. Did you guys see the announcement for that?
Yeah, that was cool.
I felt bad. The amount of people who are like, what? Like, so I literally had to explain to people what Medieval is. Like, this is cool. Trust me, this is like one of the first dark, like, humored first games. Oh, nobody knows. Okay, cool.
He would have got a much better reaction if he unzipped his like hoodie or his pullover and Spyro was under there. But
everybody was hoping that it was an egg. Yeah. And first, all the people were like, unzip it and it'd be the egg. And it's like, we're hatching a new idea. It's Spyro remaster.
I was really hoping Spyro was under there. I think the crowd was ready for that. And look at that, Night Moon dropping the $5 in there just because of the amount of time I wasted last night. I think, was that you who was like, I'm sorry, here's some money last night when we were watching the play? I made it to the end. You can't say I didn't make it to the end. I sat through some very boring dialogue to get you guys to the end.
To me, totally worth it for that Detroit Become Human.
Detroit looked really good. I will say that. I was honestly surprised with that.
Yeah. Well, what a shocking ending. Like, whoa, that was brutal, swift, and very realistic. Like, if you were a robot android, you'd be like,
I like the idea of that, though. There's 3 different androids, and you basically shift between stories and stuff. That looked kind of cool.
Which is what Heavy Rain did, and you didn't know, like, which had a hell of a twist at the end of that.
I love Heavy Rain. Heavy Rain was such a great game.
Well, and how it came with that little
Jason!
It has a little paper mache thing that actually came with where you got to fold it up and be your own origami killer.
But it was pretty good. The PlayStation experience is still going on. I think they just did the Ghost of Tsushima panel. I don't know if they showed anything new, but of course I streamed the boring thing last night, and then today I tune in and they're doing like 20 minutes of Shadow of the Colossus. Like, why couldn't they show that last night? It looked really good, by the way. And they have an option if you have PS4 Pro for frame rate in it, which every game needs to do. So I guess that's 11 o'clock. Evan, was there any other big questions for you?
That's all I've really seen.
We're good. We're done. All right, cool. I probably put I think that was a good section, Sean, where you discovered how bad WWE was. Because that was
fine. Yeah, you can run that.
I think that's what's gonna get. I think we're gonna run that. Like it was so bad. Wood had to jump in here and be like, "I told you."
Right. You're going to be like, "I told you so."
Guys, there's enough of us here, man. Let's do the 6-man Hell in a Cell. We'll probably be done by 1 a.m. So.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, that frame rate, man. 10 frames a second. All right, let's finish up here. Wood, where can they find you, man?
Does he have us muted?
What? Sorry. Are you looking at me or Sean?
The look on your face, Wood. You looked over like, oh shit, they're talking to me.
Yeah, I'm editing my video for tomorrow. What? What's the question?
We're signing off. Where can they find you, man?
Oh, they can find me at Beat 'em Ups. I'll leave a comment in the chat. Thanks for putting up with me for the last 15 minutes. Sorry, I was kind of distracted, but I do enjoy these podcasts.
Oh yeah, no, we're here every Saturday night. So anytime you want to jump in, just let me know. I'll send you a link and you can jump in.
It's always fun, and seeing Sean's good because he never calls me anymore.
Streamed last night, you idiot.
Oh, that's right.
Well, Sean's like a regular on here now, so you see him every Saturday night.
He gets around.
Yeah. Then Evan, where can they find you, man?
I mean, I mostly just post videos on Spawn Wave. We got the
tomorrow.
esports tomorrow, and then hopefully next week I'll be doing the monitor review because I got plans for that. And I'll just drop a link in there because Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram is where I post most of my other stuff anyway. So
very good. What about you, Sean?
You can find me on RGT85. I'll say hi in the chat and put a little love thing. Yeah, I got some cool videos. I got the Retrocade that I need to unbox and play around with. It's got like 90 games on it. I'm hoping the emulation on it's pretty solid because there's a lot of good arcade games on there. Hopefully, I'm waiting for a professional wrestler of WWE, ECW, and WCW and TNA fame to do my collab for this terrible, terrible abortion of a game, WWE 2K18 review. I'll probably have a Poi review up on the channel this week because it's a pretty good game that nobody knows about. And yeah, so yeah.
Cool. And then what about you, Max? Where can they find you, man?
YouTube.com/DreamcastGuy. I'm actually working on I think I'm going to do a PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds review. The Xbox One version is about to come out, so I actually want to test that, see if it's more playable on console since I didn't really like the PC version. And I'm actually going to try and review Yooka-Laylee again. I'm going to actually play it for a second time on Switch. I'm going to see if it's actually better on Switch, because from what I hear, they fixed all the stuff I hated about the original version.
Yeah, that's gonna be. I might look into that too. At least do like good impressions on it or something, because apparently they fixed the camera and everything. So there you go.
Yep. And my thing was the jump delay. As long as they fix the jump delay, it's at least an 8 for me.
Wouldn't it be interesting if the Switch version ends up being the best version out of all of them? That'd be very odd.
I would be shocked. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but I'd be I'd be happy.
Be impressed. Yeah. I mean, they could easily come out with a patch for the other versions after this. So. Definitely. Okay, guys, I guess that's it for SpawnCast tonight. You can find us on SoundCloud, iTunes, and then if you want to watch the full video, it's over on the Patreon page. You can pledge. I think it was just $1, Evan. You get the whole
basic,
thing. Yeah, there you go. There you go, $1, and you can get the whole thing. So we also have a Discord server set up actually too. So Evan, you want to drop that Patreon link in the chat, and we'll close up here, guys. Thanks for watching. Tune in every Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. We're here every week, guys. I'll see you next time.